The tragedy of Coriolanus. Actus primus scona prima. Enter a company of mutinous citizens, with saws, clubs, and other weapons. All speak. One sit, you are all resolute rather to die than to famish. All resolute resolus. First you know, Caius Mardius is chief enemy to the people. All we note. One sit, let these kill him and we'll hawk corn at our own. Price is the verdict. All no more talking on't, let it be done away. Two sit, one word, good citizens. One sit, we are accounted poor citizens, the patricians good. What authority surfeits one would relieve versus. If they would yield a vis but the superfluity while it were wholesome, we might guess they relieved versus humanely. But they think we are too dear, the leanness that afflicts versus, the object of our misery, is as an inunitary to particularize their abundance, our sufferance is a gain to them. Let vis ruinge this with our pikes, ere we become rakes. For the gods know I speak this in hunger for bread, not in thirst for ruin. 2. Sit, would you proceed especially against Caius Mardius? All, against him first, he's a very dog to the commonalty. 2. Sit, consider you what services he has done for his country? 1. Sit. Very well, and could be content to give him good report for't, but that he pays himself with being proud. All, nay, but speak not maliciously. 1. Sit, I say you, what he hath done famously, he did it to that end. Those soft, constant men can be content to say it was for his country. He did it to please his mother, and to be partly proud, which he is, ewen to the altitude of his virtue. 2. Sit, what he cannot help in his nature, you account. A vice in him, you must in no way say he is covetous. 1. Sit, if I must not, I need not be barren of accusations. He hath faults with surplus, to tire in repetition. Shoats within. What shoats are these? The other side of the city is risen, why stay we prating here? To th Capitol. All come. 1. Sit, soft, who comes here? Enter Menenius Agrippa. 2. Sit, worthy Menenius Agrippa, one that hath always lewd the people. 1. Sit, he's one honest enough, wold al the rest were so. Men, what works my countrymen in hand? Where go you with bats and clubs, the matter? Speak, I pray you. 2. Sit, our Busons is not VN known to th Senate, they ha had inkling this fortnight what we intend to do. Now we'll show 'em in deeds. They say poor suitors ha strong breaths, they shall know we ha strong arms too. Menon, why masters, my good friends, mine honest. Neighbors, will you VNDO yourselves? 2. Sit, we cannot, sir, we are VNDON already. Men, I tell you friends, most charitable care. Ha the patricians of you for your wants. You're suffering in this dearth, you may as well. Strike at the hoen with your staws, as lift them. Against the Roman state, whose course will on. The way it takes, cracking 10,000 curbs. Of more strong link asunder, than can youer. Appear in your impediment, for the dearths. The gods, not the patricians make it, and your knees to them, not arms, must help, a lackey. You are transported by calamity. Thither, where more attends you, and you slander. The helm's oath state, who care for you like fathers. When you curse them, as enemies. 2. Sit, care for versus? True indeed, they near card for versus yet. Suffer versus to famish, and their storehouses crammed with grain. Make edicts for viscery to support visurers. Repeal daily any wholesome act established against the rich, and prorogue more piercing statutes daily, to chain VP and restrain the poor. If the wars eat versus not VPP, they will, and there's all the law they bear versus. Menon, either you must confess your cellus wondrous malicious. Or be accused of folly, I shall tell you. A pretty tale, it may be you ha heard it. But since it serves my purpose, I will venture to scale't a little more. 2. Citizen, well. I'll hear it, sir, yet you must not think to fob off our disgrace with a tale. But an't please you delayer. Men, there was a time when all the body's members rebelled against the belly, thus accused it. That onely like a gulf it did remain. Amidst a th body, idle and vinactiu. Still cupboarding the viand, newer bearing. Like labor with the rest, where th other instruments. Did see and hear, duas instruct, walk, feel. And mutually participate, did minister. Viento the appetite, and affection common. Of the whole body, the belly answers it. Well, sir, what answer made the belly? Men, sir, I shall tell you with a kind of smile. Which near came from the lungs, but you and thus. For look you, I may make the belly smile. As well as speak, it taintingly replied. Toth discontented members, the mutinous parts. That anide his receipt, you and so most fitly. As you malign our senators for that. They are not such as you. 2. Sit, your belly's answer, what? The kingly crowned head, the vigilant eye. The counsellor heart, the arm our soldier. Our steed the leg, the tongue our trumpeter. With other muniments and petty helps. In this our fabric if that they. Men, what then, for me this fellow speaks. What then, what thens? 2. Sit, should by the cormorant belly be restrained. Who is the sink a th body? Men, well, what thens? 2. Sit, the former agents if they did complain. What could the belly answer? Men, I will tell you. If you'll bestow a small of what you ha little. Patience a while, you stee hear the belly's answer. 2. Sit, ye're long about it. Men, note me this good friend. Your most graw belly was deliberate. Not rash like his accusers, and thus answered. True is it, my incorporate friends, quoth he, that I receive you the general food at first. Which you do liu vipon, and fit it is. Because I am the storehouse and the shop. Of the whole body, but if you do remember. I send it through the reewers of your blood. Ewan to the court the heart to th seadoth brain. And through the cranks and offices of man. The strongest narrows and small inferior veins. From me receive you that natural competency. Whereby they lee you, and though that all at once. You my good friends, this says the belly mark me. 2. Sit, I sir, well, well. Men, though all at once cannot. See what I do delay or out to each. Yet I can make my audit VP, that all. From me do backy, receive you the flower of all. And lo me but the bran, what say you toot? 2. Sit, it was an answer how apply you this. Men, the senators of Rome are this good belly. And you the mutinous members, for examine. Their counsels and their cares, digest things rightly. Touching the wheeleth common, you shall find. No public benefit which you receive. But it proceeds, or comes from them to you. And no way from your cellos, what do you think? You, the great toe of this assembly. 2. Sit, I the great toe, why the great toe? Men, for that being one oath lowest, basest, poorest. Of this most wise rebellion, thou goest foremost. Thou rascal, that art worst in blood to run. Leads thee first to win some vantage. But make you ready your stiff bats and clubs. Rome and her rats are at the point of battle. The one side must ha baile. Enter Caius Mardius. Hail, noble Mardius. Mar thanks, what's the matter, you dissentious rogues? That rubbing the poor itch of your opinion. Make your cellus scabs. 2. Sit, we haw your good word. Mar he that will gie you good words to thee, will flatter. Beneath abhorring, what would you haw, you curs? That like nor peace nor war, the one affrights you. The other makes you proud, he that trusts to you. Where he should find you Leon, finds you hares. Where foxes, geese you are, no surer no. Then is the coal of fire vipon the ice. Or hailstone in the sun, your virtue is. To make him worthy, whose offense subdues him. And curse that Eustis did it, who deserves greatness. Deserves your hate, and your affections are. A sick man's appetite, who desires most that? Which would increase his ewel, he that depends. Vipon your fours, swims with fins of lade. And hews down oaks with rushes, hang ye, trust ye. With your minute you do change a mind. And call him noble, that was now your hate. Him Vilda, that was your garland, what's the matter? That in these sural places of the city. You cry against the noble senate who, viender the gods, keep you in awe, which else would feed on one another, what's their seeking? Men, for corn at their own rates, whereof they say. The city is well stored. Mar hang 'em, they say. They'll sit by th fire, and presume to know. What's done i'th Capitol, who's like to rise? Who three use and who declines, side factions and you out? Connectural marriages, making parties strong. Enfeebling such as stand not in their liking. Below their cobbled shoes, they say there's grain enough. Would the nobility lay aside their ruth? And let me vsc my sword, id make a quarry. With thousands of these quartered slaws, as high as I could pick my lance. Menon, nay, these are almost thoroughly persuaded. For though abundantly they lackey discretion, yet are they passing cowardly, but I beseech you. What says the other troop? Mar they are dissolute, hang em. They said they were in hungry, sighed forth proverbs. That hunger broke stone walls, that dogs must eat. That meat was made for mouths, that the gods sent not. Corn for the rich men only, with these shreds. They vented their complainings, which being answered. And a petition granted them, a strange one. To break the heart of generosity. And make bold power look pale, they threw their caps. As they would hang them on the horns of moon. Shooting their emulation. Menon, what is granted them? Mar few tribunes to defend their vulgar wisdoms. Of their own choice, one's Iunius Brutus. Sicinius Veludus, and I know not, as death. The rabble should ha first vn roost the city. Ere so preuled with me, it will in time win vipon power, and throw forth greater themes. For insurrections arguing. Menon, this is strain. Mar go get you home, you fragments. Enter a messenger hastily. Mess, where's Caius Mardius? Mar here, what's the matter? Mies, the news is, sir, the Valses are in arms. Mar, I am glad on't, then we shall ha means to vent our musty superfluity, see our best elders. Enter Sicinius Veludus, Annius Brutus Cominius Titus Lardius. With other senators. One sen Mardius, 'tis true, that you ha lately told viz. The Valses are in arms. Mar they ha a leader. Tullus Aufidius that will put you to't. I sin in annying his nobility. And were I anything but what I am, I would wish me onely he. Come, you ha fought together. Mar were half to half the world by th, ears, and he. Vipon my party, id rule to make. Onely my wars with him, he is a lion. That I am proud to hunt. One sen, then worthy Mardius. Attend Vipon Cominius to these wars. Come, it is your former promise. Mar, sir, it is. And I am constant, Titus Lucius, thou shalt see me once more strike at Tullus' face. What art thou stiff, stands thee out? Tit, no Caius Mardius. I'll lean Vipon one crutch and fight with t'other. Ere stay behind this business. Men, o true bred. Send your company toth, Capitol, where I know. Our greatest friends attend versus. Tit, lead you on, follow Cominius we must follow. You, right worthy your priority. Come, noble Mardius. Send hence to your homes, be gone. Mar, nay, let them follow. The valse is how much corn, take these rats thither. To gnaw their garners, worshipful mutiners. Your valor puts well forth, pray follow. Exeunt. Citizens steal away, Manet Sisson and Brutus. Sisson, was your man so proud as is this Mardius? Bru, he has no equal. Sisson, when we were chosen tribunes for the people. Bru, marked you his lip and eyes. Sisson, nay but his taunts. Bru, being mood, he will not spare to gird the gods. Sisson, bemock the modest moon. Bru, the present wars dure him, he is grown. Too proud to be so valiant. Sisson, such a nature, tickled with good success, disdains. The shadow which he treads on at no one, but I do. Wonder, his insolence can brook to be commanded viender. Cominius. Bru, fame at the which he aims. In whom already he's well gracked, cannot. Better be held, nor more attained than by. A place below the first, for what miscarries, shall be the general's fault, though he perform. To vt most of a man, and giddy censure. Will then cry out of Mardius, oh if he had borne the business. Sisson, besides, if things go well. Opinion that so sticks on Mardius shall of his demerits rob Cominius. Bru, come, half all Cominius' honors are to Mardius. Though Mardius earned them not, and all his faults. To Mardius shall be honors, though indeed in aught he merit not. Sisson, let's hence and hear how the dispatch is made, and in what fashion. More than his singularity, he goes. Vipon this present action. Bru, let's along. Exeunt. Enter Tullus Aufidius with senators of Coriolanus. One senso, your opinion is Aufidius. That they of Rome are entered in our councils, and know how we proceed. Off is it not yours? What you or ha been thought one in the state, that could be brought to bodily act ere Rome had circummuntion, 'tis not 4 days gone. Since I heard thence, these are the words, I think. I haw the letter here, yes, here it is. They haw pressed to power, but it is not known whether for east or west, the dearth is great. The people mutinous, and it is rumored. Cominius, Mardius your old enemy, who is of Rome worse hated than of you. And Titus Lartius, a most valiant Roman. These 3 lied on this preparation. Whether 'tis bent, most likely, 'tis for you. Consider of it. One sent our armies in the field. We newer yet made doubt, but Rome was ready to answer viz. Off, nor did you think it folly to keep your great pretenses veiled till when they needs must show themselves, which in the hatching it seemed appeared to Rome, by the discovery we shall be shortened in our aim, which was to take in many towns, ere almost Rome should know we were afoot. To send noble Aufidius. Take your commission, hie you to your bands. Let these alone to guard Coriols. If they set down befores, for the remou, bring VP your army, but I think you'll find ha not prepared for versus. Off, oh doubt not that. I speak from certainties, nay more. Some parcels of their power are forth already. And onely hitherward, I low your honors. If we and Caius Mardius chance to meet, 'tis swarm between these, we shall your strike. Till one can do no more. All the gods assist you. Off and keep your honors safe. One sen pharaoh sen, farewell. All's farewell. Exeunt omnes. Enter Volumnia and Virgilia, mother and wife to Mardius. They set them down on 2 low stools and so. Volum, I pray you daughter sing, or express yourself in a more comfortable sort. If my son were my husband, I should freelier reice in that absence wherein he won honor, than in the embracements of his bed, where he would show most low, when yet he was but tender-bodied, and the only son of my womb, when youth with comeliness plucked all gaze his way, when for a day of king's entreaties, a mother should not sell him an hour from her beholding. I considering how honor would become such a person, that it was no better than picture-like to hang by th. Wall, if renown made it not stirra, was pleased to let him seek danger, where he was like to find fame. To a cruel war I sent him, from whence he returned, his brows bound with oak. I tell thee, daughter, I sprang not more in eye at first hearing he was a man-child, than now in first seeing he had proud himself a man. Verg, but had he died in the business, madame, how then? Volum, then his good report should ha been my son, I therein would ha found issue. Hear me profess sincerely, had I a dozen sons each in my low alike, and none less dear than thine, and my good Mardius, I had rather had a Lewin die nobly for their country, than one voluptuously surfeit out of action. Enter a gentlewoman. Gent, madam, the lady Valeria is come to visit you. Verg, beseech you giu me low to retire myself. Volum, indeed you shall not. Methinks, I hear hither your husband's drum. See him pluck Aufidius down by th hair. As children from a bear, the valse is shunning him. Methinks I see him stamp thus and call thus. Come on, you cowards, you were got in fear. Though you were born in Rome, his bloody brow. With his mailed hand, then wiping, forth he goes. Like to a harust man, that tasked to mow. Or all, or loose his hire. Verg his bloody brow, O Eupiter no blood. Volum, away you fool, it more becomes a man. Then gilt his trough, the breasts of Hecuba. When she did suckle Hector, looked not lowlier. Then Hector's forehead, when it spit forth blood. At Grecian sword, contending tell Valeria. We are fit to bid her welcome. Exit gent. Ver, Hoens bless my lord from fell Aufidius. Vol, he'll beat Aufidius' head below his knee. And tread V upon his neck. Enter Valeria with an V sure, and a gentlewoman. Val, my ladies both good day to you. Vol, sweet madam. Ver, I am glad to see your ladyship. Val, how do you both? You are manifest housekeepers. What are you sewing here? A fine spot and good. Faith, how does your little son? Ver, I thank your ladyship, well good madam. Vol, he had rather see the swords and hear a drum. Then look Vipon his schoolmaster. Val, my word the father's son, I'll swear 'tis a very pretty boy. My troth, I looked Vipon him a Wednesday half an hour together, has such a confirmed countenance. I saw him run after a gilded butterfly, and when he caught it, he let it go again, and after it again, an hour he comes, and VP again, catched it again, or whether his fall enragged him, or how 'twas, he did so set his teeth and tear it. Oh, I warrant how he mammocked it. Vol, one on's father's moods. Val, indeed la, 'tis a noble child. Verg, a cracky madam. Val, come, lay aside your stitchery, I must haw you. Play the idle huswife with me this afternoon. Verg, no good madam. I will not out of doors. Val, not out of doors. Volum, she shall. Verg, indeed no, by your patience, I'll not hour the threshold, till my lord return from the wars. Val, fie, you confine yourself most bien reasonably. Come, you must go visit the good lady that lies in. Verg, I will wish her speedy strength and visite her. With my prayers, but I cannot go thither. Volum, why I pray you? Vilug, 'tis not to saw labor, nor that I want low. Val, you would be another Penelope, yet they say, all the urn she spun in Velus's absence, did but fill Athica full of moths. Come, I would your cambric were sensible as your finger, that you might low pricking it for pity. Come, you shall go with Versus. Ver, no good madam, pardon me, indeed I will not. Vorth. Val, in truth la go with me, and I'll tell you excellent news of your husband. Verg, O good madam, there can be none yet. Val, verily I do not east with you, there came news from him last night. Ver, indeed madam. Val, in earnest it's true, I heard a senator speak it. Thus it is, the Valses ha an army forth, against who Cominius the general is gone with one part of our Roman power. your lord and Titus Lardius are set down before their city carrioles, they nothing doubt prejuling, and to make it brief wars. This is true on mine honor, and so I pray go with versus. Verg, do you me excuse good madame, I will obey you. In uary thing herifter. Vol, let her alone lady as she is now. She will but disease our better mirth. Valeria, in troth I think she would. Fare you well then, come good sweet lady. Prithee Virgilia turn thy solemnness out a door. And go along with verses. Virgil, no. At a word madam, indeed I must not. I wish you much mirth. Val, well then farewell. Exeunt ladies. Enter Mardius, Titus Lardius with drum and colours, with captains and soldiers as before the city Coriolanus, to them a messenger. Mardius, yonder comes news. A wager they ha met. Lar, my horse to yours no. Marty's done. Lart agreed. Marseille, has our general met the enemy. Mess, they lie in view but ha not spoke as yet. Lart, so the good horse is mine. Mart, I'll buy him of you. Lart, no, I'll nor sell nor jew him, lend you him I will. For 100 years, some in the town. Mar, how far off lie these armies? Mess, within this mile and half. Mar, then shall we hear their larum, and they ours. Now Mars, I prithee make verses quick in work. That we with smoking swords may march from hence. To help our fielded friends, come, blow thy blast. They sound a parley, enter 2 senators with others on the walls. Of Coriolanus. Tullus Aufidius, is he within your walls? 1 senate. No, nor a man that fears you less than he, that's lesser than a little. Drum afar off. Hark our drums. Are bringing forth our youth, we'll break our walls. Rather than, they shall pound vis vp our gates. Which yet seem shut, we ha but pinned with rushes. They'll open of themselves, hark you far off. Ilarum far off. There is Aufidius, list what work he makes. Amongst ye your Clowen army. Mart, oh they are at it. Lart, their noise be our instruction, ladders hoa. Enter the army of the valses. Mar they fear versus not, but issue forth their city. Now put your shields before your hearts and fight. With hearts more proof than shields. Aduance bra Titus. They do disdain vis much beyond our thoughts. Which makes me sweat with wrath, come on my fellows. He that retires, I'll take him for a valse. And he shall feel mine edge. Alarum, the Romans are beat back to their trenches, enter Mardius. Cursing. Mar all the contagion of the south, light on you. You shames of Rome, you heard of biles and plagues. Plaister you are, that you may be abhorred. Farther than seen, and one infect another. Against the wind a mile, you souls of geese. That bear the shapes of men, how haw you run. From slaws that apes would beat, Pluto and hell. All hurt behind, backs red and faces pale. With flight and agued fear, mend and charge home. Or by the fires of Hoenn, I'll low the foe. And make my wars on you, look toot, come on. If you'll stand fast, we'll beat them to their weus. As they vis to our trenches follows. Another alarum, and Mardius follows them to gates and is shut in. So now the gates are ope, now proud good seconds. Tease for the followers' fortune widens them. Not for the flyers, mark me and do the like. Enter the Gatsal, foolhardiness not Saul, nor Saul, see they ha shut him in. Alarum continues. All to th pot I warrant him. Enter Titus Lardius. Tit, what is become of Mardius? All slain sir doubtless. 1 Saul, following the flyers at the very heels. With them he enters, who vipon the sodding. Clapped to their gates he is himself alone. To answer all the city. Lar, O noble fellow, who sensibly outdares his senseless sword, and when it bows stands TVP, thou art left Mardius. A carbuncle entire, as big as thou art. Where not so rich a UL, thou wast a soldier. Ewan to Kalu's wish, not fierce and terrible. Onely in strokes, but with thy grim looks and the thunder-like percussion of thy sounds. Thou madst thine enemies shake, as if the world were foerus and did tremble. Enter Mardius bleeding, assaulted by the enemy. One saw Luxor. Lar, O 'tis Mardius. Let's fetch him off or make remain alike. They fight and all enter the city. Enter certain Romans with spoils. 1. Rome, this will I carry to Rome. 2. Rome, and I this. 3. Rome, a Murran aunt I took this for Silur. Exeunt. Alarum continues still afar off. Enter Mardius and Titus with a trumpet. Marcy hear these mowers that do prize their hours. At a cracked drachm, cushions leaden spoons. Irons of a doit, doublets that hangmen would bury with those that wore them, these base slaws. Ere yet the fight be done, Packy VP down with them. And hark what noise the general makes to him. There is the man of my soul's hate, Aufidius. Piercing our Romans, then valiant Titus take. Conunient numbers to make good the city. Whilst I with those that haw the spirit will haste. To help Cominius. Lar, worthy sir, thou bleedst. Thy exercise hath been too violent. For a second course of fight. Mar, sir, praise me not. My work hath yet not warmed me, fare you well. The blood I drop is rather physical than dangerous to me. To Aufidius thus I will appear and fight. Lar, now the fair goddess Fortune fall deep in low with thee and her great charms. Misguide thy opposers' swords, bold gentlemen. Prosperity be thy page. Mar thy friend no less than those she placeth highest, so farewell. Lar, thou worthiest Mardius. Go sound thy trumpet in the marketplace. Call thither all the officers of town, where they shall know our mind, away. Exeunt. Enter Cominius as it were in retire, with soldiers. Come, breath you my friends, well fought, we are come off. Like Romans, neither foolish in our stands, nor cowardly in retire, believe me, sirs. We shall be charged agin, whiles we haw strook. By interims and canoeing gusts we haw heard. The charges of our friends, the Roman gods, lead their successes as we wish our own. That both our powers, with smiling fronts encountering, may you thankful sacrifice thy news. Enter a messenger. Mess, the citizens of Coriolanus haw ushered. And Giuan to Lartius and to Mardius Bacil. I saw our party to their trenches dreuan. And then I came away. Calm, though thou speakest truth. Methinks thou speak'st not well, how long is't since? Me's, about an hour, my lord. Calm, 'tis not a mile, briefly we heard their drums. How couldst thou in a mile confound an hour? And bring thy news so late? Me's, spies of the valses, held me in chase that I was forked to wheel. 3 or 4 miles about, else had I, sir. Half an hour since brought my report. Enter Mardius. Calm, who's yonder? That does appear as he were fleed, O gods. He has the stamp of Mardius, and I haw before time seen him thus. Mar, come I too late? Calm, the shepherd knows not thunder fro a tabor. More than I know the sound of Mardius' tongue. From Uary meaner man. Mardius, come I too late? Calm, I if you come not in the blood of others, but mantled in your own. Mart, oh let me clip ye. In arms as sound, as when I wooed in heart. as merry as when our nuptial day was done, and tapers burnt to bedward. Come, flower of warriors, how is't with Titus Lardius? Mar as with a man busied about decrees, condemning some to death and some to exile, ransoming him or pitying, threatening th other, holding Coriolanus in the name of Rome. Ewan like a fawning greyhound in the leash, to let him slip at will. Come, where is that slaw, which told me they had beat you to your trenches? Where is he? Call him hither. Mar, let him alone. He did inform the truth, but for our gentlemen, the common file, a plague tribunes for them. The mouse near shunned the cat, as they did budge from rascals worse than they. Come, but how pre-yield you? Mar, will the time Seru to tell? I do not think. Where is the enemy? Are you lords of the field? If not, why cease you till you are so? Come, Mardius, we how at disadvantage fought, and did retire to win our purpose. Mar, how lies their battle? Know you on W side? They haw placked their men of trust. Come, as I guess Mardius. Their bands I vowed are the anti-ants. Of their best trust, or read them Ophidius. Their very heart of hope. Mar, I do beseech you. By all the battles wherein we ha fought. By th blood we ha shed together. By th vows we ha made. To endure friends that you directly set me. Against Ophidius and his anti-ats. And that you not delay the present, but filling the air with swords aduanked and darts. We prow this very hour. Calm though I could wish. You were conducted to a gentle bath. And balms applied to you, yet dare I newer. Deny your asking, take your choice of those that best can aid your action. Mar, those are they that most are willing, if any such be here. As it were sin to doubt that low this painting, wherein you see me smeared, if any fear. Less in his person than an ill report. If any think broad death outweighs bad life, and that his country's dearer than himself, let him alone, or so many so minded. Waugh thus to express his disposition. And follow Mardius. They all shout and waw their swords, take him VP in their arms and cast VP their caps. O me alone, make you a sword of me. If these shows be not outward, which of you? But is for valses, none of you but is able to bear against the great Ophidius. A shield as hard as his, a certain number. Though thanks to all, must I select from all. The rest shall bear the business in some other fight. As cause will be obeyed, please you to march. And four shall quickly draw out my command. Which men are best inclined. Come, march on my fellows. Make good this ostentation, and you shall. Deuite in all with versus. Exeunt. Titus Lardius, hoing set a guard vipon carioles, going with drum. And trumpet toward Cominius and Caius Mardius, enters with a lieutenant, other soldiers and a scout. Lar, so let the ports be guarded, keep your duties. As I haw set them down, if I do send dispatch, those centuries to our ide, the rest will seru. For a short holding, if we loose the field, we cannot keep the town. Lou, fear not our care, sir. Lart hence and shut your gates vipons. Our guider come to th Roman camp conduct versus. Exit. Ilarum as in Batial. Enter Mardius and Ophidius at Cyril doors. Mar, I'll fight with none but thee, for I do hate thee. Worse than a promise breaker. Ophid we hate alike. Not a frick owns a serpent I abhorra. More than thy fame and an eye, fix thy foot. Mar, let the first budger die the other's slaw. And the gods doom him after. Off if I fly Mardius, hollow me like a hare. Mar within these 3 hours Tullus. Alone I fought in your Coriol's walls. And made what work I pleased, tease not my blood. Wherein thou seest me masked for thy ruin. Wrench VP thy power to th highest. Off wert thou the Hector. That was the whip of your bragged progeny. Thou shouldst not scape me here. Here they fight, and certain valses come in the Ide of Offi. Mardius fights till they be Driuin in brethels. Officious and not valiant, you ha shammed me. In your condemned seconds. Flourish, alarum, a retreat is sounded, enter at one door. Cominius with the Romans, at another door Mardius with his arm in a scarf. Come, if I should tell thee Ori this thy day's work. Thou'lt not believe you thy deeds, but I'll report it. Where senators shall mingle tears with smiles. Where great patricians shall attend and shrug. I'th end admire, where ladies shall be frighted. And gladly quacked hear more, where the dull tribunes. That with the fusty plebeians, hate thine honors. Shall say against their hearts, we thank the gods. Our Rome hath such a soldier. Yet cam'st thou to a morsel of this feast. Hawing fully dinned before. Enter Titus with his power from the pursuit. Titus Lardius, O general. Here is the steed, we the caparison. Hadst thou beheld? Mardius, pray now no more. My mother, who has a charter to extol her bloud. When she does praise me, greyus me. I ha done as you ha done, that's what I can. Induct as you ha been, that's for my country. He that has but affected his good will hath our't in mine act. Come, you shall not be the graw of your deserving. Rome must know the value of her own. Twere a concealment worse than a theft, no less than a traducement. To hide your doings and to silence that, which to the spire and top of praise is vouched, would seem but modest, therefore I beseech you, in scene of what you are, not to reward. What you ha done, before our army hear me. Mardius, I ha some wounds vpon me, and they smart. To hear them sellus remembred. Come should they not? Well might they fester, gainst ingratitude. And tent themselves with death, of all the horses. Whereof we ha tan good, and good store of all. The treasure in this field atchiude and city. We render you the 10th to be tan forth. Before the common distribution. At your only choice. Mardius, I thank you general. But cannot make my heart consent to take. A bribe to pay my sword, I do refuse it. And stand vpon my common part with those. That ha beheld the doing. A long flourish, they all cry Mardius Mardius cast VP their caps. And lances, Cominius and Lardius stand bare. Mar may these same instruments, which you profane, newer sound more, when drums and trumpets shall. I'thfield prow flatterers, let courts and cities be made all of false fact soothing. When steel grows soft as the parasite silk, let him be made an ouacher for th wars. No more I say, for that I ha not washed my nose that bled, or foiled some debile wretch, which without note here's many else ha done. You shoot me forth in acclamations hyperbolical, as if I lewd my little should be dieted. In praises, soxed with lies. Come, too modest are you. More cruel to your good report than grateful. To these that geo you truly, by your patience. If gainst yourself you be incensed, we'll put you. Like one that means his proper harm in manacles. Then reason safely with you, therefore be it known. As to these, to all the world that Caius Mardius wears this war's garland, in token of the which my noble steed, known to the camp I geo him, with all his trim belonging, and from this time For what he did before Coriolanus call him. With all applause and clamor of the host. Marcus Caius Coriolanus, bear addition nobly ewer. Flourish, trumpet sound and drums. Omnes Marcus Caius Coriolanus. Martius I will go wash. And when my face is fair, you shall pursue. Whether I blush or no, howbeit I thank you. I mean to stride your steed, and at all times. To VN der crest your good addition. To fairness of my power. Come so to our tent. Where'er we do repose viz, we will write. To Rome of our success, you Titus Lardius. Must to Coriolanus Bacchae send verses to Rome. The best with whom we may articulate. For their own good and ours. Lardius I shall my lord. Martius, the gods begin to mock me. I that now refused most princely gifts. Am bound to beg of my lord general. Tact tease yours what is't. Martius I sometime lay here in Coriolanus. At a poor man's house, he vest me kindly. He cried to me, I saw him prisoner. But then Aufidius was within my view. And wrath overwhelmed my pity, I request you. To you my poor host freedom. Come, O well begged. Were he the butcher of my son, he should be free as is the wind, deliver him Titus. Martius his name. Martius by Eupiter forgot. I am weary, yea, my memory is teared. Ta we no wine here. Come, go we to our tent. The bloud vipon your visage dries, tease time. It should be looked to, come. Exeunt. A flourish, cornets, enter Tullus Aufidius Blaudi with 2 or 3 soldiers. Offi, the town is tan. Sold, 'twill be delivered Bacchae on good condition. Offid condition. I would I were a Roman, for I cannot. Being a valse be that I am, condition. What good condition can a treaty find? At part that is at mercy, few times Martius. I ha fought with thee, so often hast thou beat me. And wouldst do so, I think should we encounter. As often as we eat, by elements. If agen I meet him beard to beard. He's mine or I am his, mine emulation. Has not that honor in't had, for where? I thought to crush him in an equal force. True sword to sword, I'll potch at him some way. Or wrath or craft may get him. Saul, he's the deal. Off bolder though not so subtle, my valor's poisoned. With onely suffering stained by him, for him. Shall fly out of itself, nor sleep nor sanctuary. Being naked sick, nor fane nor capitol. The prayers of priests, nor times of sacrifice. Embarkments all of fury, shall lift VP. Their rotten preuilage and custom gainst. My hate to Martius, where I find him were it. At home, vipon my brother's guard you in there. Against the hospitable cannon would I wash my fierce hand and's heart, go you to city. Learn how 'tis held and what they are that must be hostages for Rome. Soul, will not you go? Off, I am attended at the cypress grow, I pray you. 'Tis south the city mills, bring me word thither. How the world goes, that to the pace of it, I may spur on my nigh. Soul I shall, sir. Actus secundus. Enter Menenius with the 2 tribunes of the people, Sicinius and Brutus. Men, the Agura tells me, we shall ha news too. Night. Brew good or bad. Men, not according to the prayer of the people, for they allow not Martius. Sisson, nature teaches beasts to know their friends. Men, pray you, who does the wolf low? Sisson, the lamb. Men, I to dewar him, as the hungry plebeians would. The noble Martius. Brew, he's a lamb indeed that bays like a bear. Men, he's a bear indeed that lews like a lamb. You two are old men, tell me one thing that I shall ask you. Both well, sir. Men, in what enormity is Martius poor in, that you? Two, haw not in abundance. Brew, he's poor in no one fault but stored withal. Sisson, especially in pride. Brew, and topping all others in boasting. Men, this is strange now, do you two know how? You are censured here in the city, I mean of viseth right. Hand file do you? Both, why, how are we censured? Men, because you talk of pride now, will you not? Be angry. Both, well, well, sir, well. Men, why 'tis no great matter, for a very little thief of occasion will rob you of a great deal of patience. G you your dispositions the reins, and be angry at your pleasures at the least. If you take it as a pleasure to you, in being so, you blame Martius for being proud. Brute, we do it not alone, sir. Men, I know you can do very little alone, for your helps are many, or else your actions would grow wondrous single. Your abilities are to infant-like, for doing much alone. You talk of pride. Oh, that you could turn your eyes toward the napes of your necks and make but an interior survey of your good cellus. Oh, that you could. Both, what then, sir? Men, why then you should discover a brace of VN meriting. Proud, violent, testy magistrates, alias fools. As any in Rome. Sisson, Menenius, you are known well enough too. Men, I am known to be a humorous patrician, and one that lows a cup of hot wine, with not a drop of allaying Tiber int, said to be something imperfect in forwarding the first complaint, hasty and tinder-like VP pawn to triual motion, one that canoesses more with the buttock of the night than with the forehead of the morning. What I think, I VT ter and spend my malice in my breath. Meeting two such wheels men as you are, I cannot call you liquor gusses. If the drink you GU me, touch my palate aduously, I make a crooked face at it, I can say, your worships ha de leeward the matter well, when I find the esse in compound, with the mayor part of your syllables. And though I must be content to bear with those, that say you are ruer and gra men, yet they lie deadly, that tell you ha good faces, if you see this in the map of my microcosmi, follows it that I am known well enough too? What harm can your be some conspicuities glean out of this character, if I be known well enough too? Brew, come sir come, we know you well enough. Menon, you know neither me, your cellus, nor anything. You are ambitious for poor Nas caps and leges. You wear out a good wholesome forenoon, in hearing a cause between an orange wife and a forfeitseller, and then rear the controversy of 3 pence to a second day of audience. When you are hearing a matter between party and party, if you chance to be pinched with the colic, you make faces like mummers, set VP the bloody flag against all patience, and in roaring for a chamber pot, dismiss the controversy bleeding, the more entangled by your hearing. All the peace you make in their cause is calling both the parties Nas. You are a pair of strange ones. Brew, come, come, you are well VN dursted to be a perfecter gibber for the table, than a necessary bencher in the Capitol. Men, our very priests must become mockers, if they shall encounter such ridiculous subikes as you are, when you speak best VNTO the purpose. It is not worth the wagging of your beards, and your beards deserve not so honorable a gra as to stuff a botcher's cushion, or to be entombed in an ass's pack a saddle. Yet you must be saying Martius is proud, who in a cheap estimation is worth all your predecessors, since Deucalion, though peradventure some of the best of 'em were hereditary hangmen. God into your worships, more of your conversation would infect my brain, being the herdsman of the beastly plebeians. I will be bold to take my low of you. Brew and sick aside. Enter Volumnia, Virgilia, and Valeria. How now, my as fair as noble ladies, and the moon were she earthly, no nobler. Whither do you follow your eyes so fast? Volum. Honorable Menenius, my boy Martius approaches. For the low of Juno, let's go. Menend ha, Martius coming home. Volum, I worthy Menenius, and with most prosperous approbation. Menon, take my cap, Eupiter, and I thank thee. 2. Martius coming home. 2. Ladies, nay, 'tis true. Volum, look, here's a letter from him. The state hath another, his wife another, and I think there's one at home for you. Menon, I will make my very house reel tonight. A letter for me. Virgil, yes, certain, there's a letter for you I sought. Menon, a letter for me? It gews me in a state of 7 years' health, in which time I will make a lip at the physician. The most sour rainy prescription in Galen is but empiriquitique, and to this persuade you of no better report than a horse drench. Is he not wounded? He was wont to come home wounded? Virgil. Oh no, no, no. Volum, oh he is wounded, I thank the gods for't. Menon, so do I too, if it be not too much, brings a victory in his pocket, the wounds become him. Volum, on's brows, Menenius he comes the third. Time home with the oaken garland. Menon, has he disciplined Aufidius soundly. Volum, Titus Lardius writes they fought together, but Aufidius got off. Menon, and 'twas time for him too, I'll warrant him that, and he had stayed by him, I would not ha been so fidiest for all the chests and carrioles and the gold that's in them. Is the Senate possessed of this? Volum. Good ladies, let's go. Yes, yes, yes. The Senate has letters from the general, wherein he jews my son the whole name of the war. He hath in this action outdone his former deeds doubly. Valor, in troth, there's wondrous things spoke of him. Menon, wondrous, I warrant you, and not without his true purchasing. Virgil, the gods grant them true. Volum true pauwa. Mean true, I'll be sworn they are true. Where is he wounded, God saw your good worships? Mardius is coming home, he has more cause to be proud. Where is he wounded? Volum. Ith shoulder and ith left arm, there will be large cicatrices to show the people, when he shall stand for his place. He received in the repulse of Tarquin Suin hurts ith body. Mean, 1 ith neck and 2 ith thigh, there's 9. That I know. Volum, he had before this last expedition 20. Few wounds vipon him. Mean, now it's 20 Suin, Uri Gash was in. Enemies graw, hark the trumpets. A shout and flourish. Volum, these are the vishers of Mardius. Before him he carries noise. And behind him he lows tears. Death, that dark spirit, in's narrowy arm doth lie. Which being aduanked, declines, and then men die. A senate, trumpet sound, enter Cominius the general and Titus. Ladius. Between them Coriolanus, crowned with an oaken garland, with captains and soldiers and a herald. Herald, no Rome, that all alone Mardius did fight. Within Coriol's gates, where he hath won. With fame, a name to Mardius Caius. These in honor follows Mardius Caius Coriolanus. Welcome to Rome, renowned Coriolanus. Sound flourish. All, welcome to Rome, renowned Coriolanus. Coriol, no more of this, it does offend my heart, pray now no more. Calm, look sir your mother. Coriol, oh, you ha I know, petitioned all the gods for my prosperity. Kneels. Volum, nay my good soldier VP. My gentle Mardius, worthy Caius. And by dedatuing honor newly named. What is it, Coriolanus, must I call thee? But oh, thy wife's. Corio, my gracious silence hail. Wouldst thou ha laughed, had I come coffined home? That weepst to see me triumph, ah my dear. Such eyes the widows in carrioles were. And mothers that lackey sons. Mean, now the gods crown thee. Calm, and liu you yet, O my sweet lady, pardon. Volum, I know not where to turn. O welcome home, and welcome general. And ye're welcome all. Mean, 100,000 welcomes. I could weep and I could laugh. I am light and hoey, welcome. A curse begin at very root on's heart. That is not glad to see thee. You are 3 that Rome should dote on. Yet by the faith of men we haw some old crab trees here at home. That will not be grafted to your relish. Yet welcome warriors. We call a nettle but a nettle. And the faults of fools but folly. Calm, you are right. Cor, Menenius, you are. Herald, g you way there and go on. Cor, your hand and yours. Ere in our own house I do shade my head. The good patricians must be visited. From whom I ha received not only greetings, but with them change of honors. Volum I ha liud. To see inherited my very wishes. And the buildings of my fancy. Only there's one thing wanting. Which I doubt not but our Rome will cast upon thee. Cors no good mother. I had rather be their servant in my way than sway with them in theirs. Come on to the Capitol. Flourish cornets. Exeunt in state as before. Enter Brutus and Sicinius. All tongues speak of him, and the bleared sights are spectacled to see him, your prattling nurse. Into a rapture lets her baby cry. While she chats him, the kitchen malkin pins her richest lockram bout her reechy neck, clambering the walls to eye him. Stalls, bulks, windows are smothered VP. Leads filled and ridges horsed, with variable complexions, all agreeing in earnestness to see him, seld shown flamins. Do press among the popular throngs and puff. To win a vulgar station, our veiled dames commit the war of white and damask. In their nicely gauded cheeks doth wanton spoil. Of Phoebus burning kisses, such a puther. As if that whatsoever god who leads him were slyly crept into his humane powers, and gaw him graceful posture. Sisson, on the sudden I warrant him consul. Brutus, then our office may during his power go. As leap. Sisson, he cannot temperately transport his honors. From where he should begin and end but will lose those he hath won. Brutus, in that there's comfort. Sissi, doubt not. The commoners for whom we stand, but they vipon their ancient malice will forget. With the least cause, these his new honors. Which that he will gew them, make I as little question. As he is proud to do't. Brutus, I heard him swear. Were he to stand for consul, newer would he appear i'th marketplace, nor on him put the Naples vesture of humility, nor showing as the manner is his wounds. Toth people beg their stinking breaths. Sisson, tease right. Brutus, it was his word. Oh, he would miss it rather than carry it. But by the sweet of the gentry to him, and the desire of the nobles. Sisson, I wish no better than haw him hold that purpose, and to put it in execution. Brutus, tease most like he will. Sisson, it shall be to him then, as our good wills, a sure destruction. Brutus, so it must fall out. To him, or our authorities for an end. We must suggest the people, in what hatred he still hath held them, that to's power he would. Ha made them mules, silent their pleaders, and disproportied their freedoms, holding them in humane action and capacity, of no more soul nor fitness for the world than camels in their war who haw their pruand. Only for bearing burthens and sore blows, for sinking v endure them. Sisson, this, as you say, suggested. At some time, when his soaring insolence shall teach the people which time shall not want. If he be put v pont, and that's as easy as to set dogs on sheep, will be his fire. To kindle their dry stubble, and their blaze shall darken him for ewer. Enter a messenger. Brutus, what's the matter? Mess, you are sent for to the Capitol. 'Tis thought that Mardius shall be consul. I ha seen the dumb men throng to see him, and the blind to hear him speak, matrons flong glows, ladies and maids their scarfs and handkerchers. Vipon him as he passed, the nobles bended. As to Io's statue, and the commons made a shower and thunder with their caps and shoats. I newer saw the like. Brutus, let's to the Capitol, and carry with versus ears and eyes for th time. but hearts for the uint. Sissen ha with you. Exeunt. Enter two officers to lay cushions as it were in the capito off. Come, come, they are almost here, how many? Stand for consulships. 2, off 3 they say, but 'tis thought of Uri 1. Coriolanus will carry it. 1, off, that's a braw fellow, but he's vengeance proud and lows not the common people. 2, off, faith, there hath been many great men that ha flattered the people, who ne'er loud them, and there be many that they ha loud, they know not wherefore, so that if they loud they know not why, they hate vipon no better a ground. Therefore, for Coriolanus neither to care whether they low or hate him, manifests the true knowledge he has in their disposition, and out of his noble carelessness lets them plainly see't. 1, off, if he did not care whether he had their low or no, he wad indifferently, twixt doing them neither good nor harm, but he seeks their hate with greater devotion than they can render it him, and loes nothing viendone that may fully discour him their opposite. Now to seem to affect the malice and displeasure of the people is as bad as that which he dislikes to flatter them for their low. 2, off, he hath deserved worthily of his country, and his ascent is not by such easy degrees as those, who hoing been supple and courteous to the people, bonneted, without any further deed, to haw them at all into their estimation and report. But he hath so planted his honors in their eyes and his actions in their hearts, that for their tongues to be silent and not confess so much, were a kind of ingrateful iniuri. To report otherwise were a malice that, geewing itself the lie, would pluck reproof and rebuke from Uri ear that heard it. 1, off, no more of him, he's a worthy man, make way, they are coming. A senate, enter the patricians and the tribunes of the people. Lictors. Before them, Coriolanus, Menenius, Cominius the consul. Sistenius and Brutus take their places by themselves, Coriolanus stands. Menon, hoing determined of the valses. And to send for Titus Lardius, it remains. As the main point of this our after meeting. To gratify his noble Cerois that hath thus stood for his country, therefore please you, most ruerend and gra elders, to desire the present consul and last general in our well-found successes to report a little of that worthy work performed by Mardius Caius Coriolanus, whom we met here both to thank and to remember, with honors like himself. 1 send speak, good Cominius. Lo nothing out for length and make verses think. Rather our states defect to you for requital. Then we to stretch it out, masters of people. We do request your kindest ears, and after your lowing motion toward the common body, to yield what passes here. Sissen, we are convented vipon a pleasing treaty, and ha hearts inclinable to honor and adduance the theme of our assembly. Brutus, which the rather we shall be blessed to do, if he remember a kinder value of the people, then he hath hereto prised them at. Menon, that's off, I would you rather had been silent, please you to hear Cominius speak. Brutus, most willingly, but yet my caution was more pertinent than the rebuke you gee you it. Menon, he lows your people, but tie him not to be their bedfellow, worthy Cominius speak. Coriolanus rises and offers to go away. Nay, keep your place. Senate, sit Coriolanus, newer shame to hear what you ha nobly done. Coriol, your honors pardon. I had rather ha my wounds to heal again. Then here say how I got them. Brutus, sir, I hope my words dispensed you not. Coriol, no sir, yet oft. When blows ha made me stay, I fled from words. You soothed not, therefore hurt not, but your people. I allow them as they weigh. Menon, pray now sit down. Corio, I had rather ha one scratch my head at sun. When the alarum were struck, then idly sit to hear my nothings monstered. Exit Coriolanus. Menon, masters of the people. Your multiplying spawn, how can he flatter? That's 1,000 to 1 good one, when you now see. He had rather venture all his limbs for honor than on one's ears to hear it, proceed Cominius. Come, I shall lackey voice, the deeds of Coriolanus. Should not be vt feebly, it is held. That valor is the chiefest virtue, and most dignifies the hour, if it be. The man I speak of cannot in the world be singly counterpoised, at 16 years. When Tarquin made a head for Rome, he fought beyond the mark of others, our then dictator, whom with all praise I point at, saw him fight. When with his Amazonian shin he drow the brizzled lips before him, he bestrid an repressed Roman, and I'th consul's view. Slew 3 opposers, Tarquin's self he met, and struck him on his knee, in that day's feats. When he might act the woman in the scene, he proved best man i'th field, and for his meed was browbound with the oak, his pupil a man entered thus, he waxed like a sea. And in the brunt of Suentine battles since, he lurked all swords of the garland, for this last. Before and in Coriols, let me say, I cannot speak him home, he stopped the flyers, and by his rare example made the coward turn terror into sport, as weeds before a vessel viender sail, so men obeyed, and fell below his stem, his sword death stamp. Where it did mark, it took from face to foot. He was a thing of blood, whose uary motion was timid with dying cries, alone he entered the mortal gate of th city, which he painted. With shunless destiny, Idoles came off, and with a sudden reinforcement struck. Cariols like a planet, now all's his. When by and by the din of war gan pierce his reedy sense, then straight his doubled spirit requickened what in flesh was fatigate. And to the battle came he, where he did run reeking o'er the leaves of men, as if twere a perpetual spoil, until we called both field and city hours he newer stood to ease his breast with panting. Menon, worthy man. Senate, he cannot but with measure fit the honors which we dioise him. Come, our spoils he kicked at, and looked vpon things precious, as they were. The common muck of the world, he cowits less. Then misery itself would Geu, rewards his deeds with doing them, and is content to spend the time to end it. Menon, he's right noble, let him be called for. Senate, call Coriolanus. Oft he doth appear. Enter Coriolanus. Menon, the Senate, Coriolanus are well pleased to make the consul. Corio, I do owe them still my life and services. Menon, it then remains that you do speak to the people. Corio, I do beseech you. Let me reliep that custom, for I cannot put on the gown, stand naked, and entreat them. For my wound's sake, to Geu their suffrage. Please you that I may pass this doing. Sissin, sir, the people must haw their voices. Neither will they bate one eat of ceremony. Menon, put them not toots. Pray you go fit you to the custom, and take to you, as your predecessors haw, your honor with your form. Corio, it is a part that I shall blush in acting, and might well be taken from the people. Brutus, mark you that. Corio, to brag vntio them, thus I did and thus. Show them v-naking scars which I should hide, as if I had received them for the hire of their breath only. Menon, do not stand vpont. We recommend to you tribunes of the people our purpose to them, and to our noble consul. Wish we all eye and honor. Senate, to Coriolanus come all eye and honor. Flourish cornets, then exeunt, Manet Sicinius and Brutus. Brew, you see how he intends to VSC the people. Sissin, may they purseue's intent, he will require them. As if he did contemny what he requested. Should be in them to Geu. Brew, come we'll inform them. of our proceedings here on TH Marketplace. I know they do attend versus. Enter Sewen or 8 citizens. 1. Sit. Once if he do require our voices, we ought not to deny H sit. We may, sir, if we W sit. We ha power in ourselves to do it, but it is a power that we ha no power to do. For, if he show versus his wounds and tell versus his deeds, we are to put our tongues into those wounds and speak for them. So if he tell versus his noble deeds, we must also tell him our noble acceptance of them. Ingratitude is monstrous, and for the multitude to be ingrateful, we're to make a monster of the multitude, of the which, we being members, should bring ourselves to be monstrous members. 1. Sit, and to make versus no better thought of a little help will Saru. For once we stood VP about the corn, he himself stuck not to call versus the many-headed multitude. 3. Sit. We have been called so of many, not that our heads are some brown, some blacky, some Abram, some bald, but that our wits are so diously coolord. And truly I think, if all our wits were to issue out of one skull, they would fly east, west, north, south, and their consent of one direct way should be at once to all the points of the compass. 2. Sit, think you so? Which way do you eage my wit would fly? 3. Sit, nay your wit will not so soon out as another man's will, tease strongly wodged VP in a blockhead, but if it were at liberty, 'twould sure southward sit, why that way? 3. Sit, to loose itself in a fog where being 3 parts melted away with rotten dews, the 4th would return for conscience sake, to help to get thee a wife. 2. Sit, you are newer without your tricks, you may. 3. Sit, are you all resolute to gee your voices? But that's no matter, the greater part carries it, I say. If he would incline to the people, there was newer a worthier man. Enter Coriolanus in a gown of humility, with Menenius. Here he comes, and in the gown of humility, mark his behoyer. We are not to stay altogether, but to come by him where he stands, by ones, by twoes, and by threes. He's to make his requests by particulars, wherein Uri one of these has a single honor, in geoing him our own voices with our own tongues, therefore follow me, and I'll direct you how you shall go by him. All content. Men, oh sir, you are not right, ha you not known. The worthiest men ha don't. Corio, what must I say, I pray, sir? Plague vipont I cannot bring my tongue to such a pace, look, sir, my wounds. I got them in my country's Cerois when some certain of your brethren roared and ran. From th, noise of our own drums. Menon, oh me the gods, you must not speak of that. You must desire them to think vipon you. Coriols think vipon me, hang 'em. I would they would forget me, like the virtues, which our dewines lose by m. Men, you'll mar all. I'll low you, pray you speak to m, I pray you. In wholesome manner. Exit. Enter 3 of the citizens. Corio, bid them wash their faces and keep their teeth clean, so here comes a brace. You know the cause, sir, of my standing here. 3. Sit, we do, sir, tell versus what hath brought you to't. Corio, mine own desert. 2. Sit, your own desert. Corio, I but mine own desire. 3. Sit, how not your own desire? Corio, no, sir, 'twas near my desire yet to trouble the poor with begging. 3. Sit, you must think if we gee you anything, we hope to gain by you. Corio, well then I pray your price ith consulship. 1. Sit, the price is to ask it kindly. Corio, kindly sir, I pray let me hat, I ha wounds too. Show you, which shall be yours and priuate, your good. Voice, sir, what say you? 2. Sit, you shall hat worthy sir. Corio, a match, sir, there's in all 2 worthy voices. Begged, I ha your alms adieu. 3. Sit, but this is something odd. 2. Sit, and tweer to giu agin, but tease no matter. Exeunt, enter 2 other citizens. Coriol, pray you now, if it may stand with the tune of your voices, that I may be consul, I ha here the customary gown. Coriol, your enigma. Coriol, you should account me the more virtuous, that I ha not been common in my low. I will sir flatter my sworn brother the people to earn a dearer estimation of them. 'Tis a condition they account gentle. And since the wisdom of their choice is rather to ha my hat, then my heart I will. Practice the insinuating nod, and be off to them most counterfeitly. That is, sir, I will counterfeit the bewitchment of some popular man, and you it bountiful to the desirers. Therefore beseech you, I may be consu we hope to find you our friend, and therefore you our voices heartily. Coriol, I will not seal your knowledge with showing them. I will make much of your voices, and so trouble you no farther. Both the gods you ice are heartily. Coriol, most sweet voices. Better it is to die, better to staru. Then craw the higher, which first we do deseru. Why in this woollish tongue should I stand here? To beg of Hob and Dick, that does appear. Their needless vouches, custom calls me toot. What custom wills in all things should we do't? The dust on antique time would lie bien swept, and mountainous error be too highly heaped. For truth to a reappear, rather than fool it so, let the high office and the honor go. To one that would do thus, I am half through. The one part suffered, the other will I do. Enter 3 citizens more. Here come moe voices. Your voices, for your voices I ha sought. Watched for your voices bear. Of wounds 2 dozen odd, battles thrice 6. I ha seen and heard of, for your voices. Ha done many things, some less, some more. Your voices, indeed I would be consu sit. He has done nobly and cannot go without. Any honest man's voice. 2 sit, therefore let him be consul, the gods giu him. Aye, and make him good friend to the people. All, amen, amen, God saw thee noble consul. Corio, worthy voices. Enter Menenius with Brutus and Sicinius. Mean, you ha stood your limitation. And the tribunes, indue you with the people's voice. Remains that in th official marks inusted. You anon do meet the Senate. Corio, is this done? Sissin, the custom of request you ha discharged. The people do admit you, and are summoned. To meet anon, vpon your approbation. Corio, where, at the Senate House. Sissin, there Coriolanus. Corio, may I change these garments? Sissin, you may, sir. Cori, that I'll straight do, and knowing myself again. Repair toth, Senate House. Mean, I'll keep you company, will you along? Brute, we stay here for the people. Sissin, fare you well. Exeunt Coriol and mean. He has it now, and by his looks methinks. 'Tis warm at's heart. Brute, with a proud heart he wore his humble weeds. Will you dismiss the people? Enter the plebeians. Sisai, how now my masters, how you chose this man? 1 sit, he has our voices, sir. Brute, we pray the gods, he may deserve your lows. 2 sit, amen, sir. To my poor unworthy notice he mocked v's when he begged our voices. 3 sit, certainly he floated versus downright. 1 sit, no, 'tis his kind of speech, he did not mock versus. 2 sit, not one amongst v's saw yourself, but says he v'est versus scornfully. He should ha showed versus his marks of merit, wounds received for's country. Sissin, why so he did, I am sure. All, no man saw e sit, he said he had wounds, which he could show and preuate. And with his hat, thus wawing it in scorn. I would be consul, says he, aged custom. But by your voices, will not so permit me. Your voices, therefore, when we granted that. Here was, I thank you for your voices, thank you. Your most sweet voices, now you ha left your voices. I ha no further with you, was not this mockery. Sissin, why either were you ignorant to seat? Or seeing it of such childish friendliness? To yield your voices. Brute, could you not ha told him? As you were lessened, when he had no power, but was a petty servant to the state. He was your enemy, you were spake against. Your liberties and the charters that you bear. As body of the wheel, and now are reviewing. a place of potency and sway oath state, if he should still malignantly remain. Fast foe toth plebage, your voices might be curses to your cellus, you should ha said, that as his worthy deeds did claim no less than what he stood for, so his gracious nature would think vipon you for your voices, and translate his malice towards you into lao, standing your friendly lord. Sisin thus to ha said, as you were foredoised had tucked his spirit, and tried his inclination, from him plucked either his gracious promise which you might, as cause had called you VP, ha held him to, or else it would ha galled his surly nature, which easily endures not article, tying him to aught, so putting him to rage. You should ha tan th, advantage of his collar, and past him venelicted. Brute, did you pursue? He did solicite you in free contempt, when he did need your lows, and do you think that his contempt shall not be bruising to you? When he hath power to crush, why had your bodies no heart among you, or had you tongues to cry against the rectorship of judgment? Sisin, ha you, ere now denied the asker, and now again, of him that did not ask but mock, bestow your sued for tongues. 3. Sit, he's not confirmed, we may deny him yet. 2. Sit, and will deny him. I'll ha few hundred voices of that sound sit. I twice few hundred and their friends to peace 'em. Brute, get you hence instantly, and tell those friends they ha chose a consul, that will from them take their liberties, make them of no more voice than dogges that are as often beat for barking, as therefore kept to do so. Sisai, let them assemble, and on a safer judgment, all rook your ignorant election, enforce his pride, and his old hate vnto you, besides forget not with what contempt he wore the humble weed. How in his suit he scorned you, but your lows, thinking vipon his services, took from you. Th apprehension of his present portance, which most jibingly viengrally he did fashion. After the annuiterate hate he bears you. Brute, lay a fault on these your tribunes, that we labored no impediment between, but that you must cast your election on him. Sisai, say you chose him, more after our commandment, then as guided by your own true affections, and that your minds preoccupied with what you rather must do than what you should, made you against the grain. To voice him consul, lay the fault on versus. Brute, I spare versus not, say, we read lectures to you. How youngly he began to sorrow his country. How long continued, and what stock he springs of. The noble house Othmartians, from whence came that Ancus Martius, Numi's daughter's son, who after great Hostilius here was king. Of the same house Publius and Quintus were, that our best water, brought by conduits hither, and nobly named, so twice being censor, was his great ancestor. Sisin, one thus descended, that hath beside well in his person wrought. To be set high in place, we did commend to your remembrances, but you ha found, scowling his present bearing with his past, that he's your fixed enemy, and rook your sudden approbation. Brute, say you near had don't harp on that still, but by our putting on. And presently, when you ha drawn your number, repair toth capitol. All we will so, almost all repent in their election. Exeunt plebeians. Brute, let them go on. This mutiny were better put in hazard than stay past doubt for greater. If, as his nature is, he fall in rage, with their refusal, both observe and answer the vantage of his anger. Sisin toth capitol come. We will be there before the stream oath people, and this shall seem as partly tease their own which we ha goaded onward. Exeunt. Actus tertius. Cornets, enter Coriolanus, Menenius, all the gentry Cominius. Titus, Latius, and other senators. Corio, Tullus Aufidius then had made new head. Latius, he had my lord, and that it was which coust. Our swifter composition. Corio, so then the valses stand but as at first. Ready when time shall prompt them, to make road. Vi pons again. Come, they are warned Lord Consul so. That we shall hardly in our ages see. Their banners wa again. Corio saw you Aufidius. Latius, on safeguard he came to me and did curse. Against the valses, for they had so vildly yielded the town, he is rittered to Antium. Corio spoke he of me. Latius he did my lord. Corio how what? Latius, how often he had met you sword to sword. That of all things vipon the earth he hated. Your person most, that he would pawn his fortunes. To hopeless restitution, so he might be called your vanquisher. Corio at entium lius he. Latius at entium. Corio, I wish I had a cause to seek him there. To oppose his hatred fully, welcome home. Enter Sicinius and Brutus. Behold, these are the tribunes of the people. The tongue's oath common mouth, I do despise them. For they do prank them in authority. Against all noble sufferance. Sicin, pass no further. Cor ha, what is that? Brute, it will be dangerous to go on no further. Corio, what makes this change? Menens the matter. Come, hath he not passed the noble in the common? Brute, Cominius no. Corio, how I had children's voices. Senate, tribunes GUA, he shall toth marketplace. Brute, the people are incensed against him. Sicin, stop, or all will fall in broil. Corio, are these your herd? Must these ha voices, that can yield them now? And straight disclaim their towns, what are your offices? You being their mouths, why rule you not their teeth? Ha you not set them on? Mean becami. Corio, it is a purposed thing and grows by plot. To curb the will of the nobility. Suffer and leave you with such as cannot rule. Nor you are will be ruled. Brute, cult not a plot. The people cry you mock them, and of late. When corn was due in them gratis, you repined. Scandaled the suppliants, for the people called them time pleasers, flatterers, foes to nobleness. Corio, why this was known before. Brute, not to them all. Corio, how you informed them Scythians. Brute, how I informed them. Com, you are like to do such business. Brute, not vien like each way to better yours. Corio, why then should I be consul, by yon clouds? Let me deserve so ill as you, and make me your fellow tribune. Sicin, you show too much of that. For which the people stirra, if you will pass. To where you are bound, you must inquire your way. Which you are out of, with a gentler spirit. Or newer be so noble as a consul. Nor yoke with him for tribune. Mean let's be calmy. Calm, the people are abuzzed, set on this paltering. Becomes not Rome, nor has Coriolanus. Deserved this so dishonored rub, laid falsely. Ath plain way of his merit. Corio, tell me of corn, this was my speech. And I will speak to again. Mean, not now, not now. Senate, not in this heat, sir, now. Corio, now as I leave you, I will. My nobler friends, I craw their pardons. For the mutable rank-scented many. Let them regard me, as I do not flatter. And therein behold themselves, I say again. In soothing them, we nourish gainst our senate. The cockle of rebellion, insolence, sedition. which we ourselves ha plowed for, sowed and scattered, by mingling them with these, the honored number, who lack not virtue, no, nor power but that, which they ha genuine to beggars. Mean, well, no more. Senate, no more words, we beseech you. Corios, how, no more. As for my country, I ha shed my blood. Not fearing outward force, so shall my lungs coin words till their decay against those measles, which we disdain should tetter versus, yet sought the very way to catch them. Brew, you speaketh people as if you were a god, to punish, not a man, of their infirmity. Sisson, tweer well we let the people note. Mean, what his collar. Core collar, were I as patient as the midnight sleep. By Ios twould be my mind. Sisson, it is a mind that shall remain a poison. Where it is, not poison any further. Corio shall remain. Hear you this triton of the Minows, mark you. His absolute shall come, 'twas from the cannon. Cor shall, O God, but most VN wise patricians, why? You graw, but reckless senators, haw you thus? Genuine hydra here to choose an officer. That with his peremptory shall, being but the horn and noise oath monsters, wants not spirit. To say, he'll turn your current in a ditch, and make your channel his, if he ha power. Then veil your ignorance, if none awake. Your dangerous lenity, if you are learned. Be not as common fools, if you are not. Let them ha cushions by you, you are plebeians. If they be senators, and they are no less. When both your voices blended, the greats taste. Most palates theirs, they choose their magistrate. And such a one as he, who puts his shall. His popular shall, against a grower bench. Then you were frowned in Greece, by Io himself. It makes the consul's base, and my soul aches. To know, when two authorities are VP. Neither supreme, how soon confusion may enter twixt the gap of both and take the one by th other. Come, well on Toth marketplace. Corio, who you are ga that counsel, to you forth. The corneth storehouse gratis, as 'twas viest. Sometime in Greece. Mean, well, no more of that. Cor, thog there the people had more absolute power. I say they nourished disobedience, fed the ruin of the state. Brew, why shall the people you? One that speaks thus their voice. Corio, I'll you my reasons. More worthier than their voices, they know the corn. Was not our recompense, resting well assured. They near did Cerois fort, being pressed toth war. Ewan, when the noil of the state was touched. They would not thread the gates, this kind of Cerois. Did not deseru corn gratis, being ithwar. Their mutinies and revolts, wherein they showed. Most valor spoke not for them, th accusation. Which they ha often made against the Senate. All cause vien born, could newer be the natu. Of our so frank donation, well, what then? How shall this bosom multiplied digest? The Senate's courtesy, let deeds express. What's like to be their words, we did request it. We are the greater poll, and in true fear. They gaw versus our demands, thus we debase the nature of our seats and make the rabble. Call our cares fears, which will in time break ope the locks of the Senate and bring in the crows to peck the eagles. Mean, come enough. Brew, enough with our measure. Corio, no, take more. What may be sworn by, both divine and humane. Seal what I end withal, this double worship. Whereon part dues disdain with cause, the other. Insult without all reason, where gentry, title, wisdom. Cannot conclude but by the yea and no. Of general ignorance it must omit. Real necessities, and gu weigh the while. To vien stable slightness, purpose so barred it follows. Nothing is done to purpose, therefore beseech you. You that will be less fearful than discreet. That allow the fundamental part of state. More than you doubt the change on't, that prefera. A noble life before a long and wish. To eump a body with a dangerous physic. That's sure of death without it, at once pluck out. The multitudinous tongue, let them not lick. The sweet which is their poison, your dishonor. Mangles true judgment and barrows the state. Of that integrity which should be calmed. Not hoying the power to do the good it would. For ill which doth contralt. Brew has said enough. Sisson has spoken like a traitor and shall answer. As traitors do. Corio, thou wretch, despite o'erwhelm thee. What should the people do with these bald tribunes? On whom depending, their obedience fails. Toth greater bench in a rebellion. When what's not meet but what must be was law. Then were they chosen, in a better hour. Let what is meet be said it must be meet. And throw their power i'th dust. Brew manifest treason. Sisson this a consul, no. Center an edile. Brew the edils ho, let him be apprehended. Sisson, go call the people, in whose name myself. Attach thee as a traitorous in water. A foe toth public weal, obey I charge thee. And follow to thine answer. Corio hence old goat. All we'll surety him. Come, egged sir hands off. Corio, hence rotten thing, or I shall shake thy bones. Out of thy garments. Sisson, help ye citizens. Enter a rabble of plebeians with the ediles. Mean, on both sides more respect. Sisson, here's he, that would take from you all your power. Brew, seize him ediles. All down with him, down with send weapons, weapons, weapons. They all bustle about Coriolanus. Tribunes, patricians, citizens, what ho! Sistinius, Brutus, Coriolanus, citizens. All peace, 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 stay, hold, peace. Mean, what is about to be, I am out of breath. Confusion's near, I cannot speak, you tribunes. Toth people, Coriolanus, patience, speak good Sicinius. Sissi, hear me people, peace. All, let's hear our tribune, peace, speak, speak. Speak. Sissi, you are at point to lose your liberties. Mardius would ha all from you, Mardius. Whom late you ha named for consul. Mean, fi, this is the way to kindle, not to quench. Sina, to Vien build the city, and to lay all flat. Sissi, what is the city but the people? All true, the people are the city. Brute, by the consent of all, we were established the people's magistrates. All you so remain. Mean, and so are like to dough. Calm, that is the way to lay the city flat. To bring the roof to the foundation. And bury all which yet distinctly ranges. In heaps and piles of ruin. Sissi, this deserves death. Brute, or let these stand to our authority. Or let these lose it, we do here pronounce. Vipon the part oath people in whose power. We were elected theirs, Mardius is worthy. Of present death. Sissi, therefore lay hold of him. Bear him toth rock Tarpian, and from thence into destruction cast him. Brute, edile seize him. All plea, yield Mardius, yield. Mean, hear me one word, beseech you tribunes, hear me but a word. Ediles, peace, peace. Mean, be that you seem, truly your country's friend. And temperately proceed to what you would. Thus violently redress. Brute, sir, those cold ways that seem like prudent helps are very poisonous. Where the disease is violent, lay hands upon him. And bear him to the rock. Corio draws his sword. Corio, no, I'll die here. There's some among you ha beheld me fighting. Come try vpon yourselves, what you ha seen me. Mean, down with that sword, tribunes withdraw. So while brute, lay hands vpon him. Mean, help Mardius, help, you that be noble, help him young and old. All, down with him, down with him. Exeunt. In this mutiny, the tribunes, the aediles, and the people are beat in. Mean, go get you to our house, be gone away. All will be naught else. 2. Sina, get you gone. Calm, stand fast, we ha as many friends as enemies. Mean, shall it be put to that? Sina, the gods forbid. I prithee, noble friend, home to thy house. Low verses to cure this cause. Mean, for 'tis a sore vpon v's. You cannot tent yourself, be gone, beseech you. Corio, come sir, along with verses. Mean, I would they were barbarians as they are. Though in Rome littered, not Romans as they are not. Though Caludice porch oath capitol. Begone, put not your worthy rage into your tongue. One time will owe another. Corio, on fair ground I could beat 40 of them. Mean, I could myself take VP a brace oath best of. Them, yea, the 2 tribunes. Calm, but now 'tis odds beyond arithmetic. And manhood is called foolery when it stands. Against a falling fabric, will you hence? Before the tag return, whose rage doth rend? Like interrupted waters and a bear. What they are vs to bear. Mean, pray you be gone. I'll try whether my old wit be in request. With those that ha but little, this must be patched. With cloth of any color. Calms, nay, come away. Exeunt Coriolanus and Cominius. Patri, this man has marred his fortune. Mean, his nature is too noble for the world. He would not flatter Neptune for his trident, or Io for his power to thunder, his heart's his mouth. What his breast forges, that his tongue must vent. And being angry, does forget that ewer. He heard the name of deaths. A noise within. Here's goodly work. Patri, I would they were abed. Mean, I would they were in Tiber. What the vengeance, could he not speak 'em fair? Enter Brutus and Sicinius with the rabble agging. Sicin, where is this viper? That would depopulate the city, and be Uri man himself. Mean, you worthy tribunes. Sicin, he shall be thrown down the Tarpeian rock. With rigorous hands, he hath resisted law. And therefore law shall scorn him further trial. Then the suarity of the public power, which he so sets at naught. One sit, he shall well know the noble tribunes are. The people's mouths and we their hands. All he shall sure on't. Mean, sir. Sicin peace. Me, do not cry hawk where you should but hunt. With modest warrant. Sicin, sir, how comes he that you ha holp? To make this rescue. Mean, hear me speak, as I do know. The consul's worthiness, so can I name his faults. Sicin, consul, what consul? Mean, the consul Coriolanus. Brew he consul. All, no. Mean, if by the tribunes low. And yours, good people. I may be heard, I would craw a word or two. The which shall turn you to no further harm. Then so much loss of time. Sick, speak briefly then. For we are peremptory to dispatch. This viperous traitor, to eyect him hence. Were but one danger, and to keep him here. Our certain death, therefore it is decreed. He dies tonight. Menon, now the good gods forbid. That our renowned Rome, whose gratitude towards her deserved children, is enrolled in Io's own book, like in Vienne Natural Dam, should now eat VP her own. Sicin, he's a disease that must be cut away. Mean, oh he's a limb that has but a disease. Mortal to cut it off, to cure it easy. What has he done to Rome, that's worthy death? Killing our enemies, the blood he hath lost, which I dare vouch is more than that he hath. By many an ounce he dropped it for his country. And what is left to loose it by his country? Were to versus all that do't and suffer it. A brand to th endeth world. Sisson, this is clean cam. Brute merely awry. When he did low his country, it honored him. Menon, the Cerois of the foot, being once gangrened, is not then respected. For what before it was, brew, we'll hear no more. Pursue him to his house and pluck him thence, least his infection being of catching nature. Spread further. Menon, one word more, one word. This tiger-footed rage, when it shall find the harm of Vienscan swiftness, will too late tie leaden pounds to's heels, proceed by process. Least parties, as he is belued, break out, and sacky great Rome with Romans. Brute, if it were so. Sisson, what do we talk? Ha we not had a taste of his obedience? Our edels smot, our cellus resisted, come. Mean, consider this, he has been bred I wars. Since I could draw a sword and is ill-schooled. In bolted language, meal and bran together. He throws without distinction, giu me low. I'll go to him, and vienderdig to bring him in peace, where he shall answer by a lawful form. In peace to his vitimos person, noble tribunes. It is the humane way, the other course. Will prow to bloody, and the end of it. Vien known to the beginning. Sic, noble Menenius, be you then as the people's officer. Masters, lay down your weapons. Brews, go not home. Sic, meet on the marketplace, we'll attend you there. Where if you bring not Martius, we'll proceed. In our first way. Menon, I'll bring him to you. Let me desire your company, he must come. Or what is worst will follow. Sina, pray you let's to him. Exeunt omnes. Enter Coriolanus with nobles. Corio, let them pull all about mine ears, present me. Death on the wheel, or at wild a horse's heels. Or pile 10 hills on the Tarpeian rock, that the precipitation might down stretch. Below the beam of sight, yet will I still be thus to them. Enter Volumnia. Noble, you do the nobler. Corio, I muse my mother. Does not approw me further, who was wont to call them wollen vassals, things created, to buy and sell with groats, to show bare heads. In congregations, to yawn, be still and wonder. When one but of my ordinance stood VP. To speak of peace or war, I talk of you. Why did you wish me milder, would you haw me? False to my nature, rather say I play. The man I am. Volum, o sir. I would haw had you put your power well on. Before you had worn it out. Corio, let go. Vol, you might ha been enough the man you are. With strewing less to be so, lesser had been the things of your dispositions, if you had not showed them how you were disposed, ere they lacked power to cross you. Corio, let them hang. Volum, I and burn too. Enter Menenius with the senators. Men, come, you have been too rough something. Too rough, you must return and mend it. Sen, there's no remedy. Vien less by not so doing, our good city. Clo in the midst and perish. Volum, pray be counselled. I ho a heart as little apt as yours. But yet a brain, that leads my VSC of anger to better vantage. Mean, well said, noble woman. Before he should thus stoop toth heart, but that the violent fitteth time cause it as physic. For the whole state, I would put mine armor on. which I can scarcely bear. Corio, what must I do? Mean, return to tribunes. Corio, well, what then, what then? Mean, repent what you ha spoke. Corio, for them, I cannot do it to the gods. Must I then do't to them? Volum, you are too absolute. Though therein you can nor be too noble. But when extremities speak, I ha heard you say, honor and policy, like viensured friends. War do grow together, grant that and tell me. In peace, what each of them by other loose. That they combine not there. Corio tush tush. Mean, a good demand. Volum, if it be honor in your wars to seem. The same you are not, which for your best ends. You adopt your policy, how is it less or worse? That it shall hold companionship in peace. With honor as in war, since that to both. It stands in like request. Corio, why forced you this? Volum, because that. Now it lies you on to speak to people. Not by your own instruction, nor by matter. Which your heart prompts you, but with such words. That are but roted in your tongue. Though but bastards and syllables. Of no allowance to your bosom's truth. Now, this no more dishonors you at all. Then to take in a town with gentle words. Which else would put you to your fortune, and the hazard of much blood. I would dissemble with my nature, where my fortunes and my friends at stake required. I should do so in honor, I am in this. Your wife, your son, these senators the nobles. And you, will rather show our general lotes. How you can frown, than spend a fawn viponum. For the inheritance of their laws and safeguard. Of what that want might ruin. Menon, noble lady. Come go with these, speak fair, you may sallow so. Not what is dangerous present, but the loss. Of what is past. Volum, I prithee now, my son. Go to them with this bonnet in thy hand. And thus far hoeing stretched it, here be with them. Thy knee bussing the stones, for in such business. Action is eloquence, and the eyes of ignorant. More learned than the ears, wawing thy head. Which often thus correcting thy stout heart. Now humble as the ripest mulberry. That will not hold the handling, or say to them. Thou art their soldier, and being bred in broils. Hast not the soft way, which thou dost confess. Were fit for thee to VSC, as they to claim. In asking their good lows, but thou wilt frame. Thyself, forsooth, hereafter theirs so far. As thou hast power and person. Menon, this but done. Ewan as she speaks, why their hearts were yours. For they haw pardons, being asked as free. As words to little purpose. Volum, prissy now. Go and be rulled, although I know thou hadst rather. Follow thine enemy in a fiery gulf. Then flatter him in a bower. Enter Cominius. Here is Cominius. Come, I ha beenith marketplace, and sir 'tis fit. You make strong party, or defend yourself. By commonness or by absence, all's in anger. Menon, onely fair speech. Come, I think 'twill Sarrow if he can thereto frame his spirit. Volum, he must and will. Prithee now say you will, and go about it. Corio, must I go show them my VN barbed sconce? Must I with my base tongue you to my noble heart? A lie that it must bear well, I will do't. Yet were there but this single plot to loose. This mold of Mardius, they to dust should grind it. And throw it against the wind, Toth marketplace. You ha put me now to such a part which newer. I shall discharge Toth life. Come, we'll prompt you. Volum, I prithee now, sweet son, as thou hast said. My praises made thee first a soldier, so. To ha my praise for this perform a part. Thou hast not done before. Corio, well I must do't. Away my disposition, and possess me. Some harlot's spirit, my throat of war be turned, which queered with my drum into a pipe, small as an eunuch or the virgin voice, that babies lull asleep, the smiles of gnaws, tent in my cheeks, and schoolboys' tears take VP. The glasses of my sight, a beggar's tongue, make motion through my lips and my armed knees, who bode but in my stirrup bend like his. That hath received an alms, I will not do't, least I surcease to honor mine own truth, and by my body's action teach my mind a most inherent baseness. Volum at thy choice then. To beg of thee, it is my more dishonor. Then thou of them, come all to ruin let thy mother rather feel thy pride than fear thy dangerous stoutness, for I mock at death. With as big heart as thou, do as thou list. Thy valiantness was mine, thou suck'st it from me. But owe thy pride thyself. Corio, pray be content. Mother, I am going to the marketplace. Chide me no more, I'll mountebank their lows, cog their hearts from them, and come home belewed. Of all the trades in Rome, look I am going. Commend me to my wife, I'll return consul. Or newer trust to what my tongue can do. I's way of flattery further. Volum do your will. Exit volumnia. Come, away the tribunes do attend you, arm yourself. To answer mildly, for they are prepared. With accusations, as I hear more strong. Then are vipon you yet. Corio, the word is mildly, pray you let these go. Let them accuse me by injunction, I will answer in mine honor. Menon, I but mildly. Corio, well mildly be it then, mildly. Exeunt. Enter Sicinius and Brutus. Bru, in this point charge him home that he affects tyrannical power, if he uid vis there. Enforce him with his eye to the people. And that the spoil got on the Antiats was near distributed, what will he come? Enter an Edel. Edel he's coming. Bru's how accompanied. Edel with old Menenius and those senators. That always forward him. Sisson, haw you a catalogue of all the voices that we haw procured, set down byth pole. Edel I haw teas ready. Sisson, haw you collected them by tribes. Dedel I haw. Sisson, assemble presently the people hither. And when they hear me say, it shall be so. Ath right and strength ath commons, be it either. For death, for fine or banishment, then let them. If I say fine, cry fine, if death, cry death. Insisting on the oldie purgatio. Empower a truth ath cause. Edel, I shall inform them. Brew, and when such time they haw begun to cry. Let them not cease, but with a din confuzzed. Enforce the present execution. Of what we chance to sentence. Eddy, very well. Sisson, make them be strong and ready for this hint. When we shall hap to gee at them. Brew, go about it. Put him to collar straight, he hath been EVS'd. You are to conquer, and to haw his worth. Of contradiction, being once chaffed he cannot. Be reined agin to temperance, then he speaks. What's in his heart, and that is there which looks. With V's to break his neck. Enter Coriolanus, Menenius, and Cominius with others. Sisson, well here he comes. Mean, commonly I do beseech you. Corio, I as an hostler that fourth purist piece. Will bear the gnaw byth volume. Th honored gods. Keep Rome in safety, and the chairs of Eustis. Supplied with worthy men, plant low amongs. Through our large temples with wise shows of peace. And not our streets with war. One sen amen, amen. Mean a noble wish. Enter the edel with the plebeians. Citizen, draw near ye people. Edel, list to your tribunes, audience. Peace I say. Corio, first hear me speak. Both try well say peace ho. Corio, shall I be charged no further than this present? Must all determine here. Citizen, I do demand. If you submit you to the people's voices, allow their officers and are content to suffer lawful censure for such faults as shall be proved vipon you. Corio, I am content. Mean, low citizens, he says he is content. The warlike Cerois he has done, consider, think. Vipon the wounds his body bears, which show like graws i'th holy churchyard. Corio, scratches with briars, scars to moo. Laughter onely. Mean, consider further. That when he speaks not like a citizen, you find him like a soldier, do not take his rougher actions for malicious sounds. But as I say, such as become a soldier. Rather than annoy you. Come, well, no more. Corio, what is the matter? That being passed for consul with full voice, I am so dishonored that the very hour you take it off again. Citizen, answer to these. Corio, say then, 'tis true I ought so. Citizen, we charge you that you ha contrary to take from Rome all seasoned office and to wind yourself into a power tyrannical, for which you are a traitor to the people. Corio, how traitor? Mean, nay temperately, your promise. Corio, the fires at lowest hell, fouled in the people. Call me their traitor, thou injurious tribune. Within thine eyes sate 20,000 deaths. In thy hands clutched as many millions in thy lying tongue, both numbers, I would say. Thou liest vientio thee, with a voice as free as I do pray the gods. Citizen, mark you this people. Old toth ruck with him. Citizen, peace. We need not put new matter to his charge. What you ha seen him do, and heard him speak. Beating your officers, cursing your cellus. Opposing laws with strokes, and here defying those whose great power must try him. You in this so criminal, and in such capital kind. Deserves th extremis death. Brew, but since he hath served well for Rome. Corio, what do you prate of Cerois? Brute, I talk of that know it. Corio's you. Mean, is this the promise that you made your mother? Comes, no, I pray you. Corio, I'll know no further. Let them pronounce the steep Tarpeian death. Vagabond exile, fleeing, pent to linger. But with a grain a day, I would not buy their mercy at the price of one fair word. Nor check my courage for what they can you. To hoe it with saying, good morrow. Citizen, for that he has as much as in him lies from time to time. Annuied against the people, seeking means to pluck away their power, as now at last. Gu in hostile strokes, and that not in the presence of dreaded Eastus, but on the ministers. That doth distribute it, in the name of people. And in the power of versus the tribunes, we Eun from this instant, banish him our city. In peril of precipitation. From off the rock Tarpeian, newer more. To enter our Rome gates, i'th people's name. I say it shall be so. All it shall be so, let him away. He's banished, and it shall be so. Come, hear me my masters and my common friends. Citizen, he's sentenced, no more hearing. Come, let me speak. I ha beni consul, and can show from Rome. Her enemies marks vipon me, I do low. My country's good, with a respect more tender. More holy and profound than mine own life. My dear we use estimate, her wombs increase. and treasure of my loins, than if I would. Speak that. Sisson, we know your drift, speak what? Brew, there's no more to be said, but he is banished. As enemy to the people and his country. It shall be so. All, it shall be so, it shall be so. Corio, you common cry of curs, whose breath I hate. As reeketh rotten fens, whose louse I prize. As the dead carcasses of Vienne buried men. That do corrupt my air, I banish you. And here remain with your Vienne certainty. Let Uery feeble rumor shake your hearts. Your enemies, with nodding of their plumes, fan you into despair, haw the power still. To banish your defenders till at length. Your ignorance, which finds not till it feels, making but resurrection of your cellus. Still your own foes delire you. As most abated captives to some nation. That when you without blows, despising. For you the city, thus I turn my backie. There is a world elsewhere. Exeunt Coriolanus Cominius with cumulids, they all shout and throw VP their caps. Edo, the people's enemy is gone, is gone. All our enemy is banished, he is gone, ooh. Sisson, go see him out at gates and follow him. As he hath followed you, with all despite. Giu him deserved vexation, let a guard. Attend V's through the city. All come, let's see him out at gates come. The gods pursue our noble tribunes come. Exeunt. Actus quartus. Enter Coriolanus, Volumnia, Virgilia, Menenius, Cominius with the young nobility of Rome. Corio, come low your tears, a brief farewell, the beast. With many heads butts me away, nay mother. Where is your ancient courage, you were viest? To say, extremities was the trier of spirits. That common chances, common men could bear. That when the sea was calmy, all boats alike. Showed mastership in floating, fortune's blows. When most struck home, being gentle wounded, craws. A noble cunning, you were vs to load me. With precepts that would make innuenceable. The heart that conned them. Verg, O Hoens. Corio, nay, I prissy woman. Vol, now the red pestilence strike all trades in Rome. And occupations perish. Corio, what? I shall be lewd when I am lacked, nay, mother. Resume that spirit when you were wont to say. If you had been the wife of Hercules. 6 of his labors yowled ha done, and sowed. Your husband so much sweat, Cominius. Droop not adieu, farewell my wife, my mother. I'll do well yet, thou old and true Menenius. Thy tears are salter than a younger man's. And venomous to thine eyes, my sometime general. I ha seen the stern, and thou hast oft beheld. Heart-hardening spectacles, tell these sad women. Tease fond to wail innuitable strokes. As tease to laugh at him, my mother you wot well. My hazard still ha been your solace, and belie it not lightly, though I go alone. Like to a lonely dragon that his fen makes feared and talked of more than seen, your son. Will or exceed the common, or be caught. With cautelous baits and practice. Volum, my first son. Whether wilt thou go, take good Cominius. With thee a while, determine on some course. More than a wilder exposture to each chance. That starts I'th way before thee. Corio, O the gods. Come, I'll follow the Ammonith, dues with thee. Where thou shalt rest, that thou mayst hear of these. And we of thee, so if the time thrust forth. A cause for thy repeal, we shall not send. Ore the vast world, to seek a single man. And loose advantage, which doth your cool. Ith absence of the needer. Corio, fare ye well. Thou hast years vipon thee, and thou art too full. Of the war's surfeits to go row with one. That's yet Vienne bruised, bring me but out at gate. Come my sweet wife, my dearest mother, and my friends of noble touch, when I am forth. Bid me farewell and smile, I pray you come. While I remain about the ground, you shall hear from me still, and newer of me aught. But what is like me formerly? Menon, that's worthily. As any ear can hear, come let's not weep. If I could shake off but one sou in years, from these old arms and legs, by the good gods, I'ld with thee, ewery foot. Corio, giu me thy hand come. Exeunt. Enter the two tribunes, Sicinius and Brutus with the edile. Sicin, bid them all home, he's gone, and we'll no further. The nobility are vexed, whom we see ha-sighted. In his behalf, Brute, now we ha shewn our power. Let versus seem humbler after it is done. Then when it was a doing, Sicin, bid them home, say their great enemy is gone. And they stand in their ancient strength. Brute, dismiss them home, here comes his mother. Enter Volumnia, Virgilia and Menenius. Sicin, let's not meet her. Brute, why? Sicin, they say she's mad. Brute, they ha ta'en note of these, keep on your way. Volum, o ye're well met. Th hoarded plagueth, gods requite your loud. Menon, peace, peace, be not so loud. Volum, if that I could for weeping, you should hear. Nay, and you shall hear some, will you be gone? Virg, you shall stay too, I would I had the power to say so to my husband. Sicin, are you mankind? Volum, I fool is that a shame, note but this fool. Was not a man my father, hadst he thou foxship? To banish him that strook more blows for Rome. Then thou hast spoken words. Sicin, O blessed Hoens. Volum, mo a noble blows, then you are wise words. And for Rome's good, I'll tell thee what, yet go. Nay, but thou shalt stay too, I would my son were in Arabia, and thy tribe before him. His good sword in his hand. Sicin, what then? Virg, when then, he'll make an end of thy posterity. Volum, bastards in all. Good man, the wounds that he does bear for Rome. Menon, come, peace. Sicin, I would he had continued to his country. As he began, and not Vienne knit himself. The noble knot he made. Brew, I would he had. Volum, I would he had, 'twas thou incensed the rabble. Cats that can eudge as fitly of his worth. As I can of those mysteries which Hoen will not ha earth to know. Brute, pray let's go. Volum, now pray sir get you gone. You ha done a broad deed, ere you go hear this. As far as doth the Capitol exceed. The meanest house in Rome, so far my son. This lady's husband here, this do you see. Whom you ha banished, does exceed you all. Brew, well, we'll load you. Sicin, why stay we to be baited? With one that wants her wits. Exit tribunes. Volum, take my prayers with you. I would the gods had nothing else to do. But to confirm my curses, could I meet 'em. But once a day, it would enclog my heart. Of what lies hoey toot? Mean, you ha told them home. And by my troth you ha cause, you'll sup with me. Volum, angers my meat, I suppeve upon myself. And so shall stare with feeding, come let's go. Lo this faint puling, and lament as I do. In anger you know like, come. Exeunt. Mean, fi. Enter. Enter a Roman and a valse. Rome, I know you well, sir, and you know me. Your name I think is Adrian. Valse, it is so, sir, truly I ha forgot you. Rome, I'm a Roman, and my services are as you are against 'em. Know you me yet? Valse, Nicanor, no. Rome, the same, sir. Valse, you had more beard when I last saw you, but your fore is well appeared by your tongue. What's the news in Rome? I haw a note from the Valsian state to find you out there. You haw well sawed me a days your nigh. Rome, there hath been in Rome strange insurrections. The people against the senators, patricians, and nobles. Vol hath been, is it ended then? Our state thinks not so, they are in a most warlike preparation, and hope to calm upon them, in the heat of their deuage in Rome. The main blaze of it is past, but a small thing would make it flame again. For the nobles recite you so to heart, the banishment of that worthy Coriolanus, that they are in a ripe aptness, to take all power from the people, and to pluck from them their tribunes for ewer. This lies glowing I can tell you, and is almost mature for the violent breaking out. Vol Coriolanus banished. Rome banished, sir. Vol, you will be welcome with this intelligence Nicanor. Rome, the day serves well for them now. I ha heard it said, the fittest time to corrupt a man's wife is when she's foully out with her husband. Your noble Tullus Aufidius will appear well in these wars, his great opposer Coriolanus being now in no request of his country. Valse, he cannot choose. I am most fortunate thus accidentally to encounter you. You ha ended my business, and I will merrily accompany you home. Rome, I shall between this and supper tell you most strange things from Rome, all tending to the good of their adversaries. Ha you an army ready, say you? Vol, a most royal one. The centurions and their charges distinctly billeted already in th entertainment, and to be on foot at an hour's warning. Rome, I am eithful to hear of their readiness, and am the man I think that shall set them in present action. So, sir, heartily well met and most glad of your company. Valse, you take my part from me, sir. I ha the most cause to be glad of yours. Rome, well let these go together. Exeunt. Enter Coriolanus in mien, apparel, disquist, and muffled. Corio, a goodly city is this Antium, city. 'Tis I that made thy widows, many an hair. Of these fair edifices four my wars. How I heard groan and drop, then know me not. Least that thy weus with spits and boys with stones. In puny battle slay me, saw you, sir. Enter a citizen. Sit and you. Corio, direct me, if it be your will, where great Aufidius lies, is he in Antium? Sit, he is, and feasts the nobles of the state at his. How's this night? Corio, which is his house, beseech you? Sit, this here before you. Corio, thank you, sir, farewell. Exit citizen. O world, thy slippery turns, friends now fast sworn, whose double bosoms seems to wear one heart, whose hours, whose bed, whose meal and exercise are still together, who twin as tweer in low. The inseparable shall within this hour on a dissension of a doit break out, to bitterest enmity, so fellest foes, whose passions and whose plots ha broke their sleep, to take the one the other by some chance. Some trick not worth an egg shall grow dear friends, and interrogin their ushes, so with me. My birthplace ha I, and my louse vipon. This enemy town, I'll enter if he slay me. He does fair justice, if he giu me way. I'll do his country service. Enter. Music plays, enter a sarrowingman. One, sir, wine, 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 what service is here? I think our fellows are asleep. Enter another sarrowingman. Two, sir, where's Codus? My cals for him, Codus. Exit. Enter Coriolanus. Corio, a goodly house. The feast smells well, but I appear not like a guest. Enter the first sarrowingman. One, sir, what would you ha, friend, whence are you? Here's no place for you, pray go to the door. Exit. Corio, I ha deserved no better entertainment, in being. Coriolanus. Enter second sarrowant. Two, sir, whence are you, sir? Has the porter his eyes in his head that he gius entrance to such companions? Pray get you out. Corio, away. Two, sir, away, get you away. Corio, now th art troublesome. Two, sir, are you so braw, I'll haw you talked with anon. Enter three Sarrowingmen, the one meets what fellow's this? One a strange one as you or I looked on, I cannot get him. Out oath house, prithee call my master to what haw you to do here, fellow? Pray you awed the house. Corio, let me but stand, I will not hurt your hearth. Three, what are you, Corio, a gentleman? Three, a marvelous poor one. Corio, true, so I pray you poor gentleman, take VP some other station. Here's no place for you, pray you awed, come. Corio, follow your function, go and batten on cold. Bits. Pushes him away from what you will not? Prithee tell my maester what a strange guest he has here. Two, and I shall. Exit second Sarrowingman. Three, where dwellst thou? Corio, vi under the canopy. Three, vi under the canopy. Corio, where's that? Corio, at city of kites and crows. Three, at city of kites and crows, what an assa it is. Then thou dwellst with daws too. Corio, no, I seru not thy master. Three, how, sir, do you meddle with my master? Corio, I tease an honester seruis, than to meddle with. Thy mistress, thou pratsty and pratsty, seru with thy trencher. Hence, beats him away. Enter Aufidius with the Sarrowingman. Off, where is this fellow? To here, sir, I ha beat him like a dog, but for disturbing the lords within. Off, whence comest thou? What wouldst why, thy name? Why speak'st not? Speak, man, what's thy name? Corio. If tullest not yet thou knowst me, and seeing me, dost not think me for the man I am, necessity commands me name myself. Off, what is thy name? Corio, a name vien musical to the Volscians' ears, and harsh in sound to thine. Off, say what's thy name? Thou hast a grim appearance, and thy face bears a command int, though thy tackle's torn. Thou show'st a noble vessel, what's thy name? Corio, prepare thy brow to frown, knowst why me yet? Off, I know thee not, thy name. Corio, my name is Caius Mardius, who hath done to thee particularly, and to all the valses great hurt and mischief, thereto witness may my surname Coriolanus, the painful Ceruis, the extreme dangers and the drops of blood shed for my thankless country are requited. But with that surname, a good memory, and witness of the malice and displeasure, which thou shouldst bear me, only that name remains. The cruelty and annoy of the people, permitted by our dastard nobles who, ha all forsook me, hath dured the rest, and suffered me by voice of slaws to be hooped out of Rome, now this extremity hath brought me to thy hearths, not out of hope. Mistake me not to saw my life, for if I had feared death of all the men i'th world, I would ha avoided thee, but in mere spite, to be full quit of those my banishers. Stand I before thee here, then if thou hast a heart of wreak in thee, that wilt ruinge thine own particular wrongs, and stop those maims of shame seen through thy country, speed thee straight, and make my misery sorrow thy turn, so vsc it, that my ruingeful Ceruises may prow as benefits to thee, for I will fight against my cancred country with the spleen of all the Viender fiends, but if so be thou darst not this, and that to prow more fortunes. Art tiered, then in a word I also am longer to lee you most wary, and present my throat to thee, and to thy ancient malice, which not to cut would show thee but a fool, since I haw you or followed thee with hate, drawn tons of blood out of thy country's breast, and cannot lee you but to thy shame vien less. It be to do thee Ceruis. Off, O Mardius Mardius, each word thou hast spoke, hath weeded from my heart a root of ancient and I, if Eupitter should from yond cloud speak divine things, and say 'tis true, I do not believe them more. Then the all-noble Martius, let me twine mine arms about that body, where against my grained ash 100 times hath broke, and scarred the moon with splinters, here I cleap the annual of my sword, and do contest as hotly and as nobly with thy low, as you were an ambitious strength I did contend against thy valor. Know thou first, I lewd the maid I married, newer man. Sighed truer breath, but that I see thee here. Thou noble thing, more dances my rapt heart. Then when I first my wedded mistress saw, bestride my threshold, why thou Mars I tell thee. We ha power on foot, and I had purpose once more to hew thy target from thy brawn. Or loose mine arm fort, thou hast beat me out. Twellusure all times, and I ha nightly since dreamt of encounters twixt thyself and me. We ha been down together in my sleep. VN buckling helms, fisting each other's throat. And whacked half dead with nothing, worthy Martius. Had we no other quarrel else to Rome, but that thou art thence banished, we would muster all. From Twellu to Suenti, and powering war. Into the bowels of VN grateful Rome. Like a bold flood a rebeat, oh come go in. And take our friendly senators by th' hands. Who now are here, taking their lows of me. Who am prepared against your territories. Though not for Rome itself. Corio, you bless me gods. Off, therefore most absolute sir, if thou wilt ha. The leading of thine own ruinges take. One half of my commission, and set down. As best thou art experienced, since thou know'st thy country's strength and weakness, thine own ways. Whether to knock against the gates of Rome, or rudely visit them in parts remote. To fright them, ere destroy, but come in. Let me commend thee first to those that shall say yea to thy desires, 1,000 welcomes, and more a friend than e'er an enemy. Yet Martius that was much, your hand most welcome. Exeunt. Enter two of the sorrowing men. One hears a strange alteration. Two by my hand, I had thought to ha stroken him with a cudgel, and yet my mind gaw me, his clothes made a false report of what an arm he has. He turned me about with his finger and his thumb, as one would set VP atop. Nay, I knew by his face that there was something in him. He had, sir, a kind of face methought, I cannot tell how to term it. When he had so, looking as it were, would I were hanged. But I thought there was more in him than I could think. So did I'll be sworn, he is simply the rarest man. Athwere I think he is, but a greater soldier than he. You what one? Two, who my master? One, nay, it's no matter for that. Two worth 6 on nay not so neither, but I take him to be the greater. Soldier. Two, faith look you, one cannot tell how to say that, for the defense of a town, our general is excellent. One eye, and for an assault too. Enter the third sorrowingman. 3 slaws, I can tell you news you rascals. Both what, let's partake. 3 I would not be a Roman of all nations, I had as you be a condemned man. Both wherefore. 3 Why here's he, that was wont to thwacky our general. Caius Martius. 1 Why do you say, thwacky our general? 3 I do not say thwacky our general, but he was always good enough for come we are fellows and friends, he was youer too. Hard for him, I ha heard him say so himself. 1 He was too hard for him directly, to say the troth on't before Coriols, he scotched him, and notched him like a carbonado. 2 And he had been cannibally genuine, he might ha boiled and eat him too. 1 But more of thy news. 3 Why he is so made on here within, as if he were son and heir to Mars, set at VP per end of table. No question asked him by any of the senators, but they stand bald before him. Our general himself makes a mistress of him, sanctifies himself with hand, and turns VP the white oath eye to his discourse. But the bottom of the news is, our general is cut ith middle, and but one half of what he was yesterday. For the other has half by the entreaty and grant of the whole table. He'll go, he says, and soul the porter of Rome gates by ears. He will mow all down before him, and lo his passage Powell, and he's as like to dot as any man I can imagine. 3 doot, he will doot. For look you, sir, he has as many friends as enemies, which friends, sir, as it were, durst not look you, sir, show themselves, as we term it, his friends, whilst he's in directitude. 1 directitude, what's that? 3 but when they shall see, sir, his crest VP again and the man in blood, they will out of their burroughs like canize after rain, and ruel all with H, but when goes this forward? 3 tomorrow, today, presently, you shall haw the drum struck VP this afternoon, tease as it were a parcel of their feast, and to be executed ere they wipe their lips. 2 why then we shall haw a stirring world agin. This piece is nothing, but to rust iron, increase tailors, and breed ballad makers. 1 let me haw war say I, it exceeds peace as far as day does night. It's sprightly walking, audible, and full of vent. Peace is a very apoplexy, lethargy, mulled, deaf, sleep, insensible, a getter of more bastard children, than war's a destroyer of men. 2 tease so, and as wars in some sort may be said to be a roisher, so it cannot be denied, but peace is a great maker of cuckolds. 1 I, and it makes men hate one another. 3 reason because they then less need one another. The wars for my money. I hope to see Romans as cheap as Volscians. They are rising, they are rising. Both in. Exeunt. Enter the 2 tribunes, Sicinius and Brutus. Sicin, we hear not of him, neither need we fear him. His remedies are tame, the present peace, and quietness of the people which before were in wild a hurry, here do we make his friends. Blush that the world goes well, who rather had, though they themselves did suffer bite, behold. Dissentious numbers pestering streets, then see our tradesmen singing in their shops and going about their functions friendly. Enter Menenius. Brew, we stood toot in good time. Is this Menenius? Sisson, tease he. Oh, he is grown most kind of late. Hail, sir. Mean, hail to you both. Sisson, your Coriolanus is not much missed, but with his friends. The Commonwealth doth stand, and so would do, were he more angry at it. Mean, all's well, and might ha been much better, if he could ha temporized. Sisson, where is he, hear you? Mean, nay, I hear nothing. His mother and his wife hear nothing from him. Enter 3 or 4 citizens. All, the gods pursue you both. Sisson, good in our neighbors. Brew, good unto you all, good unto you our cellus, our weus, and children on our knees, are bound to pray for you both. Sisson, liu and 3 Brew, farewell kind neighbors. We wished Coriolanus had lewd you as we did. All, now the gods keep you. Both try, farewell, farewell. Exeunt citizens. Sisson, this is a happier and more comely time. Then, when these fellows ran about the streets, crying confusion. Brew, Caius Mardius was a worthy officer Ithwar, but insolent. Oricum with pride, ambitious, past all thinking. Self-lowing. Sisson, and affecting one sole throne, without assistes. Mean, I think not so. Sisson, we should by this to all our lamentation. If he had gone forth consul, found it so. Brew, the gods ha well prewented it, and Rome sits safe and still without him. Zenter and Edile. Edile, worthy tribunes. There is a slaw whom we ha put in prison. Reports the valses with 2 sural powers. Are entered in the Roman territories. And with the deepest malice of the war. Destroy what lies before M. Mean, tease Ophidius. Who hearing of our Mardius banishment, thrusts forth his horns agin into the world, which were enshelled when Mardius stood for Rome. and durst not once peep out. Sisson, come, what talk you of Mardius? Brew, go see this rumor are whipped, it cannot be. The valses dare break with verses. Means cannot be. We ha record that very well it can. And 3 examples of the like hath been. Within my age, but reason with the fellow. Before you punish him, where he heard this. Least you shall chance to whip your information. And beat the messenger who bids beware. Of what is to be dreaded. Sisson, tell not me, I know this cannot be. Brew, not possible. Enter a messenger. Mies, the nobles in great earnestness are going. All to the Senate house, some news is coming. That turns their countenances. Sisson, tease this slaw. Go whip him for the people's eyes, his raising. Nothing but his report. Mies, yes, worthy sir. The slaw's report is seconded, and more. More fearful is de leeward. Sisson, what more fearful? Mies, it is spoke freely out of many mouths. How probable I do not know, that Mardius, eined with Aufidius, leads a power gainst Rome. And vows ruinge as spacious as between. The youngst and oldest thing. Sisson, this is most likely. Brew, raised onely, that the weaker sort may wish. Good Mardius home again. Sisson, the very trick on't. Mean, this is vien likely. He and Aufidius can no more atone. Then violence de contrariety. Enter messenger. Mies, you are sent for to the Senate. A fearful army, led by Caius Mardius, associated with Aufidius, rages. Vipon our territories, and ha already. Or reborn their way, consumed with fire and took. What lay before them? Enter Cominius. Come, O you ha made good work. Mean, what news, what news? Come, you ha helped to roish your own daughters and to melt the city leads vipon your pates. To see your weus dishonored to your noses. Mean, what's the news, what's the news? Come, your temples burned in their cement and your franchises, whereon you stood confined, into an augur's bore. Mean, pray now your news. You ha made fair work, I fear me, pray your news. If Mardius should be eined with Volscians, come, if he is their god, he leads them like a thing made by some other deity than nature. That shapes man better, and they follow him. Against versus brats with no less confidence. Then boys pursuing summer butterflies. Or butchers killing flies. Mean, you ha made good work. You and your apron men, you that stood so much. Vipon the voice of occupation, and the breath of garlic eaters. Come, he'll shake your Rome about your ears. Mean, as Hercules did shake down mellow fruit. You ha made fair work. Brute, but is this true, sir? Come, I and you look pale. Before you find it other, all the regions do smilingly rule, and who resists are mocked for valiant ignorance, and perish constant fools, who ist can blame him. Your enemies and his find something in him. Mean, we are all vien don vien less. The noble man ha mercy. Come, who shall ask it? The tribunes cannot do't for shame, the people deserve such pity of him as the wolf does of the shepherds, for his best friends if they should say be good to Rome, they charged him Ewan. As those should do that had deserved his hate. And therein showed like enemies. Me, 'tis true, if you were putting to my house the brand that should consume it, I ha not the face. To say, beseech you cease, you ha made fair hands. You and your crafts you ha crafted fair. Come, you ha brought a trembling vipon Rome, such as was newer. S incapable of help. Try, say not we brought it. Mean how wast we lewd him. But like beasts and cowardly nobles, gaw way vnto your clusters, who did hoot. Him out oath city. Calm but I fear. They'll roar him in Agin, Tullus Ophidius. The second name of men obeys his points. As if he were his officer, desperation. Is all the policy, strength and defense that Rome can make against them. Enter a troop of citizens. Mean, here come the clusters. And is Ophidius with him, you are they. That made the air Vienne wholesome when you cast your stinking, greasy caps in hooting. At Coriolanus exile, now he's coming. And not a hair vipon a soldier's head. Which will not prow a whip, as many coxcombs. As you threw caps VP, will he tumble down. And pay you for your voices, tease no matter. If he could burn V's all into one coal. We ha deserved it. Omnes, faith we hear fearful news. One sit, for mine own part when I said banish him, I said 'twas pity. Two, and so did I. And to say the truth, so did very many of these, that we did for the best, and though we willingly consented to his banishment, yet it was against our will. Come, ye are goodly things, you voices. Mean, you ha made good work. You and your cry, shells to the Capitol. Come, oh I would else. Exeunt both. Sisson, go masters get you home, be not dismayed. These are a side that would be glad to haw. This true which they so seem to fear, go home. And show no scene of fear. One sit, the gods be good to these, come masters let's home, I yer said we were wrong when we banished H sit, so did we all, but come let's home. Exit sit. Brew, I do not like this news. Sisson, nor I. Brew, let's to the Capitol, would half my wealth. Would buy this for a lie. Sisson, pray let's go. Exeunt tribunes. Enter Ophidius with his lieutenant. Off do they still fly toth Roman. Lou, I do not know what witchcraft's in him, but your soldiers VSC him as the grace for meat. Their talk at table, and their thanks at end. And you are darkened in this action, sir. You and by your own. Off, I cannot help it now. V unless by V sing means I lame the foot. Of our design, he bears himself more proudlier. Ewan to my person than I thought he would. When first I did embrace him, yet his nature. In that's no changeling, and I must excuse. What cannot be amended? Lou, yet I wish, sir. I mean for your particular, you had not. Eined in commission with him, but either ha born. The action of yourself or else to him, had left it solely. Off, I ve understand thee well and be thou sure. When he shall come to his account, he knows not. What I can vrg against him, although it seems. And so he thinks and is no less apparent. To th vulgar eye, that he bears all things fairly. And shows good husbandry for the Volscian state. Fights dragon-like and does at you as soon. As draw his sword, yet he hath left Viendone. That which shall break his neck, or hazard mine. Whene'er we come to our account. Lou, sir, I beseech you, think you he'll carry Rome. Off, all places yields to him ere he sits down. And the nobility of Rome are his. The senators and patricians low him too. The tribunes are no soldiers, and their people will be as rash in the repeal as hasty. To expel him thence, I think he'll be to Rome. As is the asprey to the fish who takes it. By sovereignty of nature, first he was a noble servant to them, but he could not carry his honors ewan, whether 'twas pride, which out of daily fortune you taints. The happy man, whether detective judgment, to fail in the disposing of those chances, which he was lord of, or whether nature Not to be other than one thing, not muyuing. From th cask to th cushion, but commanding peace. Ewan with the same austerity and garb. As he controlled the war, but one of these. As he hath spices of them all, not all. For I dare so far free him, made him feared. So hated and so banished, but he has a merit. To choke it in the VTT rants, so our virtue. Lie in th, interpretation of the time. And power vnto itself most commendable. Hath not a tom so evident as a chair. Extol what it hath done. One fire drews out one fire, one nail, one nail. Rights by rights fouler, strengths by strengths do fail. Come let's away, when chaos Rome is thine. Thou art poorest of all, then shortly art thou mine. Exeunt. Actus quintus. Enter Menenius, Cominius, Sicinius, Brutus, the two tribunes with others. Menon, no, I'll not go, you hear what he hath said. Which was sometime his general, who loud him. In a most dear particular, he called me father. But what o' that, go you that's him. A mile before his tent, fall down and knee. The way into his mercy, nay, if he coyed. To hear Cominius speak, I'll keep at home. He would not seem to know me. Menon, do you hear? Yet one time he did call me by my name. I vrg'd our old acquaintance, and the drops. That we ha bled together, Coriolanus. He would not answer to, forbade all names. He was a kind of nothing, titleless. Till he had forged himself a name of fire. Of burning Rome. Menon, why so, you ha made good work. A pair of tribunes that ha racked for Rome. To make coals cheap, a noble memory. I minded him how royal 'twas to pardon. When it was less expected, he replied. It was a bare petition of a state. To one whom they had punished. Menon, very well could he say less. I offered to awaken his regard. For his preuate friends, his answer to me was, he could not stay to pick them in a pile. Of noisome musty chaff, he said, 'twas folly. For one poor grain or two, to low Vienne burnt. And still to nose th offense. Menon, for one poor grain or two. I am one of those, his mother, wife, his child. And this braw fellow too, we are the grains. You are the musty chaff, and you are smelt. About the moon, we must be burnt for you. Sisson, nay, pray be patient, if you refuse your eyed. In this so newer needed help, yet do not. VP braids with our distress, but sure if you would be your country's pleader, your good tongue. More than the instant army we can make. Might stop our countrymen. Mean, no, I'll not meddle. Sisson, pray you go to him. Mean, what should I do? Brew, only make trial what your low can do. For Rome towards Mardius. Mean, well, and say that Mardius return me. As Cominius is returned, Vienne heard, what then? But as a discontented friend, grief shot. With his Vienne kindness, sate be so. Sisson, yet your good will. Must ha that thanks from Rome, after the measure. As you intended well. Mean, I'll Vienne detect. I think he'll hear me, yet to bite his lip. And hum at good Cominius, much Vienne hearts me. He was not taken well, he had not dinned. The veins Vienne filled, our blood is cold, and then we pout vipon the morning, our vnapt. To gu or to forge you, but when we ha stuffed. These pipes and these connuyances of our blood. With wine and feeding, we ha suppler souls. Then in our priest-like fasts, therefore I'll watch him. Till he be dieted to my request. And then I'll set vipon him. Brew, you know the very road into his kindness. And cannot lose your way. Mean, good faith I'll prow him. Speed how it will, I shall ere long ha knowledge of my success. Enter. Calm, he'll newer hear him. Sisin not. Calm, I tell you he does sit in gold, his eye. Red as twould burn Rome, and his aneary. The jailer to his pity, I kneeled before him. 'Twas very faintly he said rise, dismissed me. Thus with his speechless hand, what he would do. He sent in writing after me, what he would not. Bound with an oath to yield to his conditions. So that all hope is vain, vien less his noble mother. And his wife, who, as I hear, mean to solicite him. For mercy to his country, therefore let's hence. And with our fair entreaties hast them on. Exeunt. Enter Menenius to the watch or Guarwat. Stay, whence are you? To what, stand and go back ye. Me, you guard like men, tease well, but by your low. I am an officer of state, and come to speak with Coriolanus. One from whence? Mean from Rome. You may not pass, you must return, our general. Will no more hear from thence. Two, you'll see your Rome embracked with fire before. You'll speak with Coriolanus. Mean, good my friends. If you ha heard your general talk of Rome, and of his friends there, it is lots to blanks. My name hath touched your ears, it is Menenius. One be it so, go back, the virtue of your name is not here passable. Mean, I tell thee fellow. Thy general is my lower, I ha been. The book of his good acts whence men ha read. His fame vn paralleled, haply amplified. For I ha you were verified my friends. Of whom he's chief, with all the sighs that verity would without lapsing suffer, nay sometimes. Like to a bowl vipon a subtle ground. I ha tumbled past the throw, and in his praise. Ha almost stamped the leasing, therefore fellow. I must ha load to pass. One faith, sir, if you had told as many lies in his behalf, as you ha vt turd words in your own, you should not pass here. No, though it were as virtuous to lie, as to lee you chastely. Therefore go back ye. Men, prithee fellow, remember my name is Menenius, always factionary on the party of your genera houseor you ha been his liar. As you say you ha, I am one that telling true vien dur him, must say you cannot pass. Therefore go back ye. Mean, has he didn't kensti thou tell, for I would not. Speak with him till after dinner. One you are of Roman, are you? Mean, I am as thy general is. One then you should hate Rome as he does. Can you, when you ha pushed out your gates, the very defender of them, and in a violent popular ignorance, when your enemy your shield, think to front his ruinages with the easy groans of old women, the virginal palms of your daughters, or with the palsied intercession of such a decayed dotant as you seem to be? Can you think to blow out the intended fire, your city is ready to flame in, with such weak breath as this? No, you are deceived, therefore back ye to Rome, and prepare for your execution. You are condemned, our general has sworn you out of reprieve and pardon. Mean, sirrah, if thy captain knew I were here, he would VSC me with estimation. One come, my captain knows you not. Mean, I mean thy genera, my general cares not for you. Back I say go, least I let forth your half-pin of blood. Back ye, that's the VT most of your hoeing back ye. Mean, nay but fellow. Enter Coriolanus with Aufidius. Corio, what's the matter? Mean. Now you companion, I'll say an errant for you. You shall know now that I am in estimation. You shall perceive you that a Iaki Gardant cannot office me from my son Coriolanus, guess but my entertainment with him. If thou standst not at state of hanging, or of some death more long in spectatorship, and crueler in suffering, behold now presently, and swooned for what's to come vipon thee. The glorious gods sit in hourly synod about thy particular prosperity, and allow thee no worse than thy old father Menenius does. O my son, thou art preparing fire for these. Look thee, here's water to quench it. I was hardly moved to come to thee, but being assured none but myself could move thee, I ha Benny blown out of your gates with sighs, and conjure thee to pardon Rome and thy petitionary countrymen. The good gods assuage thy wrath, and turn the dregs of it, vipon this varlet here. This, who like a block hath denied my access to thee. Corio away. Means how away? Corio, wife, mother, child, I know not my affairs. Are serrented to others, though I owe. My ruinage properly, my remission lies. In Volscian breasts, that we ha been familiar. In great forgetfulness shall poison rather. Then pity, note how much therefore be gone. Mine ears against your sweets are stronger than your gates against my force, yet for I loud thee. Take this along, I writ it for thy sake. And would ha sent it, another word Menenius. I will not hear thee speak, this man Aufidius. Was my beloved in Rome, yet thou behold'st he. Ophid, you keep a constant temper. Exeunt. Manet the guard and Menenius. 1 Now, sir, is your name Menenius. 2 'Tis a spell you see of much power. You know the way home again. When do you hear how we are shent for keeping your greatness backy? To what cause do you think I had a swound? Menon, I neither care for world nor your general for such things as you. I can scarce think there's any ye're so slight. He that hath a will to die by himself fears it not from another. Let your general do his worst. For you be that you are long, and your misery increase with your age. I say to you as I was said to away. Exit. One a noble fellow I warrant the worthy fellow is our general. He's the rock, the oak not to be wind shaken. Exit watch. Enter Coriolanus and Aufidius. Corio, we will before the walls of Rome tomorrow. Set down our host, my partner in this action. You must report to Volscian lords how plainly I ha borne this business. Off, onely there ends you ho respected. Stopped your ears against the general suite of Rome. Newer admitted a pre you at whisper, no not with such friends. That thought them sure of you. Corio, this last old man, whom with a cracked heart I ha sent to Rome, lewd me, about the measure of a father. Nay, godded me indeed, their latest refuge was to send him, for whose old low I ha. Though I showed sorely to him, once more, the first conditions which they did refuse, and cannot now accept to grace him onely. That thought he could do more, a very little. I ha yielded to, fresh embassies and sweets, nor from the state, nor preuate friends hereafter. Will I lend ear to, what shout is this? Shout within. Shall I be tempted to infringe my vow? In the same time, tease made, I will not. Enter Virgilia, Volumnia, Valeria, young Martius with attendants. My wife comes foremost, then the honored mold, wherein this trunk was frammed, and in her hand the grandchilde to her blood, but out affection. All bond and privilege of nature break. Let it be virtuous to be obstinate. What is that curtsy worth, or those dow's eyes, which can make gods forsworn? I melt and am not of stronger earth than others, my mother bows, as if Olympus to a molehill should in supplication nod, and my young boy hath an aspect of intercession which great nature cries, deny not, let the valses plough Rome and harrow Italy, I'll newer be such a gosling to obey instinct, but stand as if a man were author of himself and knew no other kin. Virgil, my lord and husband. Corio, these eyes are not the same I wore in Rome. Virg, the sorrow that Deleuer's verses thus changed makes you think so. Corio, like a dull actor now, I ha forgot my part. And I am out, you into a full disgrace, best of my flesh. Forge you my tyranny, but do not say. For that forge you our Romans, oh a kiss. Long as my exile, sweet as my ruinage. Now by the earless queen of Hoenn that kiss I carried from thee dear, and my true lip hath virgined it ere since, you gods I pray, and the most noble mother of the world. Lo vien saluted, sink my kneeth earth. Kneels, of thy deep duty more impression show than that of common sons. Volum, O stand VP blessed. whilst with no softer cushion than the flint. I kneel before thee, and vien properly. Show duty as mistaken all this while. Between the child and parent. Corio, what's this, your knees to me? To your corrected son. Then let the pibbles on the hungry beach fill up the stars, then let the mutinous winds strike the proud cedars gainst the fiery sun. Murdering impossibility to make what cannot be slight work. Valum, thou art my warrior, I hope to frame thee. Do you know this lady? Corio, the noble sister of Publicola. The moon of Rome, chaste as the Icicle. That's curdied by the frost from purest snow. And hangs on Diane's temple, dear Valeria. Valum, this is a poor epitome of yours. Which by interpretation of full time may show like all yourself. Corio, the god of soldiers. With the consent of supreme Io, inform thy thoughts with nobleness that thou mayst prow. To shame vien vulnerable and stick I thwars. Like a great sea mark standing uary flaw. And sawing those that eye thee. Valum, your niece Sira. Corio, that's my bra boy. Valum, you and he, your wife, this lady and myself, are suitors to you. Corio, I beseech you peace. Or if you'ld ask, remember this before. The thing I have forsworn to grant may newer. Be held by you denials, do not bid me. Dismiss my soldiers or capitulate. Again with Rome's mechanics, tell me not. Wherein I seem via natural, desire not till. My rages and ruenges with your colder reasons. Valum, oh no more, no more. You ha said you will not grant versus anything. For we ha nothing else to ask but that which you deny already, yet we will ask. That if you fail in our request, the blame may hang vpon your hardness, therefore hear v's. Corio, Aufidius, and Euvals's mark for wheel. Hear not from Rome and preuate your request. Valum, should we be silent and not speak our raiment? And state of bodies would bewray what life we ha led since thy exile, think with thyself. How more vien fortunate than all lewing women are we come hither, since that thy sight which should make our eyes flow with eye, hearts dance with comforts, constrains them weep and shake with fear and sorrow, making the mother, wife, and child to see the son, the husband, and the father tearing his country's bowels out, and to pour we thine enmities most capital, thou bear'st versus our prayers to the gods, which is a comfort. That all but we enjoy, for how can we? Alas, how can we for our country pray? Whereto we are bound, together with thy victory. Whereto we are bound, a lackey or we must loose. The country our dear nurse, or else thy person. Our comfort in the country, we must find. And uident calamity, though we had. Our wish which side should win, for either thou must as a foreign recreant be led. With manacles through our streets or else triumphantly tread on thy country's ruin. And bear the pommy for hoeing brawly shed. Thy wife and children's blood, for myself son. I purpose not to wait on fortune till these wars determine, if I cannot persuade thee. Rather to show a noble grace to both parts. Then seek the end of one, thou shalt no sooner march to assault thy country, than to tread. Trust toot, thou shalt not on thy mother's womb. That brought thee to this world. Verg, I and mine, that brought you forth this boy. To keep your name lewing to time. Boy, I shall not tread on me, I'll run away. Till I am bigger, but then I'll fight. Corio, not of a woman's tenderness to be. Requires nor child, nor woman's face to see. I ha sate too long. Valum, nay, go not from verses thus. If it were so, that our request did tend to saw the Romans, thereby to destroy The valses whom you sorrow, you might condemn me versus. As poisonous of your honor, no are sweet. Is that you reconcile them, while the valses may say this mercy we ha showed, the Romans. This we received, and each in either side. Giu the all hail to thee, and cry be blessed. For making VP this peace, thou know'st ye great son. The end of wars vn certain, but this certain, that if thou conquer Rome, the benefit which thou shalt thereby reap is such a name, whose repetition will be dogged with curses, whose chronicle thus writ, the man was noble. But with his last attempt he whipped it out, destroyed his country, and his name remains. To th ensuing age abhorred, speak to me, son. Thou hast affected the few strains of honor, to imitate the graces of the gods, to tear with thunder the wide cheeks of air, and yet to change thy sulphur with a bolt. That should but renew an oak, why dost thee not speak? Think'st thou it honorable for a nobleman still to remember wrongs? Daughter, speak you. He cares not for your weeping, speak thou, boy. Perhaps thy childishness will move him more. Then can our reasons, there's no man in the world more bound to's mother, yet here he lets me prate. Like one stalks, thou hast newer in thy life. Showed thy dear mother any courtesy, when she, poor hen, fond of no second brood, has clocked thee to the wars, and safely home. Loaden with honor, say my requests veniest, and spurn me backy, but if it be not so, thou art not honest, and the gods will plague thee, that thou restrain'st from me the duty which to a mother's part belongs. He turns away. Down, ladies, let these shame him with our knees. To his surname Coriolanus longs more pride than pity to our prayers, down, and end. This is the last, so we will home to Rome, and die among our neighbors. Nay, beholds this boy that cannot tell what he would ha, but kneels and holds VP hands for fellowship. Does reason our petition with more strength. Then thou hast to den it, come let these go. This fellow had a Volscian to his mother. His wife is in Coriols and his child. Like him by chance, yet Giu versus our dispatch. I am hushed vn till our city be afire, and then I'll speak a little. Holds her by the hand silent. Corio, O mother, mother. What ha you done? Behold the hoens do ope. The gods look down, and this vn natural scene. They laugh at, O my mother, mother, oh. You ha won a happy victory to Rome. But for your son, believe you it, oh believe you it. Most dangerously you ha with him preluiled. If not most mortal to him, but let it come. Aufidius, though I cannot make true wars, I'll frame conunient peace, now good Aufidius. Were you in my steed, would you ha heard a mother less, or granted less Aufidius? Off I was moved withal. Corio, I dare be sworn you were. And sir, it is no little thing to make mine eyes to sweat compassion, but good sir, what peace you'll make adoes me, for my part. I'll not to Rome, I'll back you with you and pray you. Stand to me in this cause, O mother, wife. Off I am glad thou hast set thy mercy and thy honor at difference in thee, out of that I'll work myself a former fortune. Corio, I by and by, but we will drink together. And you shall bear a better witness backy than words which we, on like conditions, will ha countersealed. Come enter with versus, ladies you deserve. To ha a temple built you, all the swords. In Italy and her confederate arms. Could not ha made this peace. Exeunt. Enter Menenius and Sicinius. Mean, see you yon coineth capital, yon corner stone? Sissin, why what of that? Mean. If it be possible for you to displace it with your little finger, there is some hope the ladies of Rome, especially his mother, may prevail with him. But I say there is no hope in't, our throats are sentanked and stay VP pon execution. Sisson, is't possible, that so short a time can alter the condition of a man. Mean, there is differency between a grub and a butterfly, yet your butterfly was a grub. This Martius is grown from man to dragon. He has wings, he's more than a creeping thing. Sisson, he lewed his mother dearly. Mean, so did he me, and he no more remembers his mother now than an 8-year-old horse. The tartness of his face sowers ripe grapes. When he walks, he moves like an engine, and the ground shrinks before his treading. He is able to pierce a corslet with his eye, talks like a knell, and his hum is a battery. He sits in his state as a thing made for Alexander. What he bids be done is finished with his bidding. He wants nothing of a god but eternity, and a hoen to throne in. Sisson, yes, mercy, if you report him truly. Mean, I paint him in the character. Mark what mercy his mother shall bring from him. There is no more mercy in him than there is milk in a male tiger, that shall our poor city find, and all this is long of you. Sisson, the gods be good vnto versus. Mean, no, in such a case the gods will not be good vnto v's when we banished him, we respected not them. And he returning to break our necks, they respect not versus enter a messenger. Me, sir, if you'll saw your life, fly to your house. The plebeians hog at your fellow tribune. And hail him VP and down, all swearing if the Roman ladies bring not comfort home. They'll jew him death by inches. Enter another messenger. Sisson, what's the news? Mess, good news, the ladies ha preoiled. The Volscians are dislodged, and Martius gone. A merrier day did newer yet greet Rome. No, not expulsion of the Tarquins. Sisson, friend, art thou certain this is true? Ist most certain. Mies, as certain as I know the sun is fire. Where ha you lurked that you make doubt of it? Near through an arch so hurried the blown tide. As the recomforted through gates, why hark you? Trumpets haboys, drums beat all together. The trumpets, sackbuts, psalteries and fifes. Tabors and cymbals, and the shouting Romans. Make the sun dance, hark you. A shout within. Mean, this is good news. I will go meet the ladies, this Volumnia is worth of consuls, senators, patricians. A city full of tribunes such as you. A sea and land full, you ha prayed well today. This morning, for 10,000 of your throats. I do not ha giuna doit, hark how they eyes. Sound still with the shouts. Sisson, first, the gods bless you for your tidings. Next, accept my thankfulness. Mess, sir, we ha all great cause to you great thanks. Sisson, they are near the city. Mies, almost at point to enter. Sisson, we'll meet them and help the eye. Exeunt. Enter 2 senators with ladies, passing the stage with other. Lords. Sina, behold our patroness, the life of Rome. Call all your tribes together, praise the gods. And make triumphant fires, strew flowers before them. VN shoot the noise that banished Martius. Repeal him with the welcome of his mother. Cry welcome ladies, welcome. All, welcome ladies, welcome. A flourish with drums and trumpets. Enter Tullus Aufidius with attendants. Off, go tell the lords at city I am here. Deliver them this paper, hawing read it. Bid them repair to marketplace, where I, Ewan in theirs and in the commons' ears, will vouch the truth of it, him I accuse. The city ports by this hath entered and intends to appear before the people, hoping to purge himself with words, dispatch. Enter 3 or 4 conspirators of Aufidius' faction. Most welcome. 1 Con, how is it with our general? Off, you and so, as with a man by his own alms empoisoned, and with his charity slain. 2 Con, most noble sir, if you do hold the same intent wherein you wished versus parties, we'll deliver you of your great danger. Off, sir, I cannot tell. We must proceed as we do find the people. 3. Con. The people will remain vn certain, whilst, twixt you there's difference. But the fall of either makes the surwy or hair of all. Off, I know it. And my pretext to strike at him, admits. A good construction, I raised him and I pawned. Mine honor for his truth, who being so heightened. He watered his new plants with dews of flattery. Seducing so my friends, and to this end. He bowed his nature, newer known before. But to be rough, swayable and free. 3. Consp, sir, his stoutness when he did stand for consul, which he lost by lackey of stooping. Off, that I would ha spoke of. Being banished fort, he came vnto my hearth. Presented to my knife his throat, I took him. Made him iant servant with me, gaw him way. In all his own desires, nay, let him choose. Out of my files his projects to accomplish. My best and freshest men, sarrowed his designments. In mine own person, hulp to reap the fame. Which he did end all his, and took some pride. To do myself this wrong, till at the last. I seemed his follower, not partner, and he watched me with his countenance, as if I had been mercenary. 1. Con, so he did my lord. The army marwiled at it, and in the last. When he had carried Rome, and that we looked for no less spoil than glory. Off there was it. For which my sinews shall be stretched upon him. At a few drops of women's rheum, which are as cheap as lies, he sold the blood and labor. Of our great action, therefore shall he die. And I'll renew me in his fall, but hark. Drums and trumpet sounds, with great shouts of the people. 1. Con. Your natty town you entered like a post, and had no welcomes home, but he returns splitting the air with noise. 2. Con. And patient fools whose children he hath slain, their base throats tear with geoing him glory. 3. Con. Therefore at your vantage. Ere he express himself, or moo the people. With what he would say, let him feel your sword. Which we will second when he lies along. After your way, his tale pronounced shall bury. His reasons with his body. Off, say no more, here come the lords. Enter the lords of the city. All lords, you are most welcome home. Off, I ho not deserted it. But worthy lords, ha you with heed perused. What I ha written to you. All we ha. 1. Lord, and gree you to hear it. What faults he made before the last, I think. Might ha found easy fines, but there to end. Where he was to begin, and gee you away. The benefit of our Louis' answering verses. With our own charge, making a treaty where there was a yielding, this admits no excuse. Oft he approaches, you shall hear him. Enter Coriolanus marching with drum and colors, the commoners being with him. Corio, hail lords, I am returned your soldier. No more infected with my country's low. Then when I parted hence, but still subsisting. Vien dur your great command, you are to know. That prosperously I ha attempted and with bloody passage led your wars, you into the gates of Rome, our spoils we ha brought home. Doth more than counterpoise a full third part. The charges of the action, we ha made peace. With no less honor to the antiates. Than shame to th Romanes, and we hear deliur. Subscribed by consuls and patricians. Together with the sealeth senate, what we ha compounded on. Off, read it not, noble lords. But tell the traitor in the highest degree. He hath abused your powers. Corio traitor, how now? Off, I traitor Mardius. Corio Mardius. Off, I Mardius Caius Mardius, doest thou think? I'll grace thee with that robbery, thy stalny name. Coriolanus in Coriols. You lords and headseth, state perfidiously. He has betrayed your business, and Genuine VP. For certain drops of salt, your city roam. I say your city to his wife and mother. Breaking his oath and resolution, like a twist of rotten silk, newer admitting. Counsel athwar, but at his nurse's tears. He wind and roared away your victory. That pages blushed at him, and men of heart looked wondering each at others. Corio, hear'st thou Mars? Off, name not the god, thou boy of tears. Corio's ha. Offid no more. Corio, measureless liar, thou hast made my heart too great for what contains it, boy, O slaw. Pardon me, lords, 'tis the first time that you were. I was forked to scowled, your judgments my graw lords. Must ye you this cur the lie, and his own notion? Who wears my stripes impressed vpon him, that must bear my beating to his graw, shall iron. To thrust the lie vntoh lord, peace both and hear me speak. Corio, cut me to pieces valses men and lads. Stain all your edges on me, boy false hound. If you ha writ your annals true, 'tis there. That like an eagle in a dow coat, I flattered your Volscians in Corioles. Alone I did it, boy. Off, why noble lords? Will you be put in mind of his blind fortune? Which was your shame, by this Vien holy braggart? For your own eyes and ears. All consp, let him die for't. All people, tear him to pieces, do it presently. He killed my son, my daughter, he killed my cosine. Marcus, he killed my father. To Lord, peace ho, no outrage peace. The man is noble, and his fame folds in this or both earth, his last offences to these. Shall ha judicious hearing, stand Aufidius, and trouble not the peace. Corio, oh that I had him, with 6 Aufidiuses or more. His tribe, to VSC my lawful sword. Off, insolent villain. All consp, kill him. Draw both the conspirators, and kills Mardius, who falls, Aufidius stands on him. Lords, hold. Off, my noble masters, hear me speak. 1. Lord Otellus. 2. Lord, thou hast done a deed whereat valor will weep. 3. Lord, tread not vpon him, masters, all be quiet. Put VP your swords. Off, my lords. When you shall know, as in this raid, provoked by him, you cannot the great danger which this man's life did owe you, you'll rei. That he is thus cut off, please it your honors. To call me to your senate, I'll deliver myself your loyal servant or endure your holiest censure. 1. Lord, bear from hence his body, and mourn you for him, let him be regarded as the most noble course that you or herald did follow to his vrne. 2. Lord, his own impatience takes from Aufidius a great part of blame, let's make the best of it. Off, my rage is gone, and I am struck with sorrow, take him VP. Help 3th chiefest soldiers, I'll be one. Beat thou the drum that it speak mournfully. Trail your steel pikes, though in the city he hath widowed and enchilded many a one, which to this hour bewail the annery. Yet he shall ha a noble memory, assist. Exeunt bearing the body of Mardius, a dead march sounded. Finis, the tragedy of Coriolanus.